fade with the click of a button. It may seem harmless, maybe it doesn't even seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. So before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Rain Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Rain Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Rain Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional. On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf of
sometimes I have to mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday night at their new time from 6 to 10.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network, powered by our friends at Destination Highway 420, proudly supporting our veterans in the Bremerton community. Visit them online at destinationhighway420.com. 21.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
You're listening.
One, dude.
Well, first of all, I wanted to let everybody know we have a very special night tonight. Because first of all, in case you haven't noticed, Kevin's not here. Now, I'm sure, knowing Kevin, at some point while he's out blowing his hard-earned money working for you, the people, he will make it a point to call in and attempt to, I don't know, every one of us, right? Because that's what he's good for. And I'm hoping that he's tuned in now, because I sent him the link. Apparently it's too difficult to scroll up in a group chat to get that link yourself, but that's okay, Kevin. We love you.
Hey, in Kevin's defense, sometimes our group chats kind of they get a little full of grab ass.
What'd you call it?
Grab ass.
Where have you been hanging out today?
What
I mean,
is the difference between your group chat and my group chat?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
No, we're all in the same group.
Can you guys hear me?
$50 comment exchange back and forth about only God knows what, and I refer to that as.
But listen, for
grab
those
ass.
that have the camera and they can see this,
good.
you only have to do this, right? Scroll up, scroll up.
Are you guys able to hear me?
You guys had a good week. You enjoyed that big yellow heat tab in the sky while it was around saying hi?
I did in my car with the heater on.
Were you wearing a mask while you were at it?
Yes.
Turn your microphone button on.
Oh.
There you go. Hey,
I missed most of it. I was in the distillery today.
Cool.
did you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell folks this. I know that that windstorm kind of kicked our ass.
Did it?
Yeah, and it didn't seem like much, but Friday morning, apparently, I was out working on the Anakeep Peninsula, and I got home, and somebody had pointed out to me that the entirety of our little car, we use a like one of those, I don't know, what do you call it, like a tarp car thing. They're like you build the frame and then you put the tarp over it, and they sell them at the farm
Like
stores.
Oh,
It's for you've never seen one of those, like a portable garage?
You're just making me. Like I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah, the wind literally picked it up and said, "Nah, not today." Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then to top it off, we went down to the paintball field, and it had because we've got 20-foot tall netting all the way around.
Video soon, guys.
And that the wind took all of it, snapped a couple of our 4x4 posts, and did everything else. I mean, it beat the snot out of it. Yeah. So all day yesterday, man, we were out there working on it, putting everything back together. But
wow.
just start talking in the you don't wait for the person that I'm just gonna say this, that can cause problems in a relationship.
Can it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have faith in you.
Thanks, bud.
You're a brilliant professor, I hope. and I'm sure you'll work your way through it. Oh my gosh. Well, hey, listen, tonight with us, we do have a special guest in studio. Do we have camera working yet?
Yes.
I don't. Okay. So to your right, as you're looking at the screen, you would see Teresa Fox, and she is running in the 6th Congressional District in Washington State against our great friend and many time, only once, guest on Outlaw Radio. I won't refer, because you're here with us, as I normally do, to Emily Randall. Yeah. I'm just going to say Emily Randall. Yes. And we're gonna I just caught up with that. I use a pejorative for her that probably isn't appropriate in the company of ladies, so we'll just say Emily Randall and we'll leave it at that. And I first met this young lady out at the protest at Emily Randall's house.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Which was a fun experience all in itself, especially if you don't mind somebody who thinks that she's a counter protester but can barely put a sentence together. You can go online and find that video. You go right ahead. Look under Matt Adams' TikTok page and you'll find it. Anyway, so we are joined tonight by Teresa Fox, running for the 6th District congressional seat against Emily Randall. Good evening, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I am doing good. I'm doing swell, and I'm super happy to be here and be talking with you.
I know it was awesome. I mean, literally, I think you and I touched base the day after you announced publicly. Maybe it might have even been the same day. But it was like, boom, boom. And I thought it was just awesome to get a chance to get you on. I think you're the first legitimate, serious candidate that we've had to run for that spot since she got into the position. Well, I guess it's the first time she's up for election in that position. So scratch what I just said. Forget about it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm Polish. Don't say anything. Don't say. But I am Polish, so I listen. I get a little latitude. Okay. My great uncle charged Nazi tanks on horseback. I'm working my way back up on the scale of intelligence. Yeah. So yeah, make what you will of that, but it's a true story. Anyway, Teresa, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from. You know, how long have you been a resident here? What do you do? What have you been doing? Tell us about what drove you to really put your neck out like this.
Well, and I feel like I am really putting my neck out like this. So I was born and raised here in Bremerton.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah. So I'm a long-term resident. My family came here back in the 1930s, and they had successful automotive businesses for about 75 years, and they contributed to the community that whole time. And I think that that's going to be really good for the campaign, by the way, because we know a ton of people in Kitsap County, and 26% of our district voters are located in Kitsap County in the Bremerton area. So I think that I'm going to be able to bring it to Emily right in her own hometown.
That's good. She could use it.
Yeah, she can. My own background is in occupational safety and health and environmental regulatory compliance. So really what I know, right? What does that mean?
I just find it funny. I spent a couple decades, well, I'm still in it really, in the trades. And my joke is, you know, OSHA manuals burst into flames around me.
There you go. Oh no, we don't want that. We want to keep you safe. You're one of my nightmares, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am, I am.
So I've got like 30 years with laws, codes, regulations, regulatory compliance at the federal, state, and local level. And then also for private industry up in Alaska and down here in Washington too. So I have a lot of experience that's going to transfer over to this particular position. You know,
absolutely.
I've dealt with environmental compliance for the Clean Air Act, you know, Environmental Species Act, Clean Water Act, the National Forest Management stuff like that we have out on the coast that Emily should be dealing with. So right now you'll find me down on the waterfront at PSNS working for an Alaskan construction company, hard hat, steel toe boots every day, trying to keep those guys safe.
Tom, she's one of us.
I am one of you. And I've been doing it for 30 years and I take it really seriously.
Listen, the OSHA stuff is super important. Like, I freely admit to everybody as a contractor, like, if you don't have to avoid the county, if you don't have to get the county or the city involved in whatever project you're doing, keywords there, if you don't have to, right? There are times when you have to. Yeah. And I'm like, please don't give them the key to your front door, right? Because it's a government agency and they are what they are. But the truth is it's super important for, as you're well aware, for very important reasons. Yeah. So I mean, Tom and I crack jokes because, you know, whenever we do something wrong, like, where's your harness and your, you know, your rope, you're on the roof, right?
Need it.
Yeah.
I did spend decades in electrical, and I mean, I'm wearing insulated boots. I mean, and they're steel toe comp and all that nonsense.
Tom, she's not on the job right now.
I know, but what I'm getting at is, I mean, there's common sense, but then there's also like, leave me alone. There's a line.
I call that risk management.
There you go.
When I'm doing that on a daily basis and we're trying to, you know, figure out a way around things, we just kind of call that, we're doing a little operational risk management.
I got you. So I think what you're saying is
balancing things.
Is that you are not unaccustomed to dealing with troublesome situations, right?
That's a good way to put
Accurate.
it. Yeah,
I can appreciate that.
I will digress for 2 seconds and tell you something that was the one time that I ever questioned my sanity. I was up on the Bering Sea on top of a wheelhouse in Alaska with 232 crew members, and we were running a Coast Guard survival drill, and it was blowing like 80 miles an hour sideways. And I was like, why did you come here? You know,
did you volunteer or were you voluntold?
I volunteered, yes.
Yeah, you're right. That's a legitimate question to ask yourself.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds fun.
Kind of sounds fun.
Yeah.
Does it sound? I don't
know. A younger version of me would have said that sounds fun.
This is coming from a guy who makes whiskey for a living. So yeah, Tom, that would have been fun.
Like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm there with you. Okay, Teresa, keep going.
So I kind of, you know, I know a lot of people in my district personally and professionally. I've worked regionally for labor and industries all throughout the region. And just for people to know what the region is, it's the Olympic and Kitsap Peninsulas and South Sound area. But Kitsap, Mason, Jefferson, Clallam, Grays Harbor County, and part of Pierce County, the South Sound, Tacoma City area, and Fife. So big region all the way out to the coast.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You
That's the 6th congressional district.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, you,
Congressional
you
district.
added a little bit. I mean, I knew up through Jeffco, but I didn't know about out to Fife and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
that's probably the problematic part for Republicans running for that office is, Bainbridge Island, Kingston, and that part of Pierce County.
Yeah.
It's a difficult road to hoe for sure.
And there's
Really
little
is.
hot
Sure.
spots too up in Port Angeles and Port Townsend where
Okay, Port Townsend. I was gonna say
Yeah.
that makes sense.
A little
I-
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love Port Town.
Yeah, but you've seen the bumper stickers in Port Townsend, right?
oh my God.
Yeah, we're all here because we're not all there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Man, I
Port
love
Townsend's
that.
unique.
I love that place.
Right. It's a nice place to visit. Don't do politics there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I feel you. So keep going. Tell us some more.
So as I've been, through the district and I go to a lot of car events and I talk to a lot of people.
Mhm.
And so I've asked people the past year and a half or so, like, what do you think about politics? What do you think about government? And people keep telling me, that they're primarily upset about taxes, right? The
Mhm.
fraud, waste, and abuse. They're upset about public safety, all the crime that's happening on our streets. And then the other one that I hear consistently is like they are so tired of the extreme left representation.
Yes.
They're just ready to boot everybody out of office. And so, as I'm talking to people, several people have asked me, hey, you really should run for office, and so I've been thinking about that. Past couple of years, I turned into a Kitsap PCO for Kitsap County.
Gotcha.
And I was planning on really getting more involved in politics when I retired, right? But Emily Randall, I just feel like the time is right now. She's just torching herself on a daily basis.
It sure seems that
she's
way.
really, really not doing a good job of representing all the people in the
She's
district.
not.
She's extremely
Alienated
preoccupied.
So many people.
Yeah. Say that one more time, Alicia.
Alienated so many
Very
people.
good. Yep.
Alienated.
Yeah, very good point. And considering this is an individual who with her profile and her position has really taken a strong stance in favor of let's just say people that are here illegally versus people that are here and are tax-paying citizens and voted, right? I mean, Donald Trump won the popular vote. He's living by the campaign promises that he made. And she's drumming up more hatred and more anger with the posts that she makes, and she is unabashedly unashamed about it.
No.
And she doesn't have any problem who feels, I think every post that she makes and God bless her for being so public about it. There's nowhere for her to hide on these issues, right? There's nobody's going to say, well, I don't know if that's really what she meant or what she said. No, she's made it very clear.
She makes it clear.
Yes.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
And when in an area that we live in with so much military and white men making up so much of the military, I mean,
Well,
come on.
what, 70%? Probably.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the
It's pretty high.
Isn't that what the
And I mean, I know all military isn't going to vote in Washington, but when you say that, it's going to reverberate through the community in which you live in.
Sure.
So I cannot believe that. And we need to stop talking about this because we're talking about Teresa.
Well,
there you go.
That's okay. But you bring up a good point. 'Cause
I'm
we've
sure
got-
it's something she's going to bring up.
We've got 27,000 federal employees in our
Right, we
district
sure
too, and she's alienating a chunk of those folks. We've got loggers, we've got mariners, we've got longshoremen, and she's definitely alienating a good chunk of her constituency. So
like a majority.
Yeah.
I think
really literally like 67% of the district. I think she's alienated at this point.
And I don't know what the numbers are. Teresa, you may have a good idea. I haven't seen the demographics as far as politically goes. But within the 6th, do we have an idea what percentage votes what direction?
So we've got a new campaign strategist on board, Jay Fratt from Positive Media, and he is drilling down into all those latest numbers.
Oh, good.
So we're going to figure out what that is. I do know, like I said, Kitsap's 26% of our district, just voters wise. Pierce County, the area down there, is 20% of the district. So the rest of it is spread out.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
but it's a lot more rural, I think, right? Especially with
lot more
Mason County, Jefferson County.
Yeah. A big part of the problem is getting people out to vote, particularly out on the coast. Grays Harbor County, for example, those guys just are not getting out to vote out there. So we got to somehow get them excited about this race and all the other races too, and get them out to vote.
Absolutely, I mean, anybody that's paying attention to independent journalism knows darn good and well that some tips are coming to light. That the other side has been doing for years, right? Example, let's go out and give out free cigarettes to the homeless so that they sign up, and we'll just have the ballots sent to a local church or nonprofit, and then we'll collect them for them and we'll vote for them and we'll turn them back in for them. I mean, it's a way to make sure that they have a voice and that they're heard. Funny, but the more this stuff comes to light, the more we have heard people, and you tell me, Teresa, if you've heard this, we've heard people for years talk about the fact that their gut tells them that something is wrong with our voting system,
Yes.
right? I mean, when
Yes.
you have a Seattle City Councilwoman that's consistently attempted to be recalled and is losing, and then magically, a box of ballots is found, not once, not twice, but multiple times, right?
Mhm.
And almost all the votes are for her. Like that reeks, that smells, and I think that now we're starting, thanks to independent journalists, people like James O'Keefe and others, right? Nick Shirley and others who are really, they're putting themselves
Great
out
guys.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going, okay, wait a second. Now we're starting, because the gut was there, right? The feeling was there, but it's not what we know. It's what we can prove.
Yes.
And so now we're looking to prove it. And I get the impression that now for somebody like yourself, who's running with your background, with your involvement in the community, you have a real opportunity to strike. I think her district is vulnerable. She's vulnerable as a candidate. Do you get that sense?
I do get that sense, and I get that sense as I've been throughout the district. I've went down and talked to the Clallam County, or up to the Clallam County Republicans, out to Grays Harbor, talked to Mason, Kitsap, and I get the impression everywhere that everybody is just ready to change, that we're tired of this, and I feel like it's a really good time right now, and just keep hearing that, yes, it's possible to flip this district. I've also heard that the next district down, District 3, I think John Braun is running down there, but that district is really flippable, and that's on the radar screen from the National Republican Committee. So, hopefully they'll send some life rings out here and we can flip this thing.
It'd be nice if they sent some money your way, right?
Yeah.
Are they
kind of rare coming to Washington, so I really hope it does.
Yeah.
So has the National Republican Party has had anything to say about their belief on the district? Do they have a belief that, or are they kind of waiting to see how your ground game goes at the initial start, or what?
So I talked to Jim Walsh just the other day. We were down at the Capitol, the rally down there, and spoke with him. And he gave me some good input that, they are looking at it, particularly the 3rd. They're feeling like that one is really flippable, but that they're starting to put some eyeballs on this race out here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So
really
that's good.
Hopeful and encouraged about that.
Yeah, that's great.
That's positive. I know.
So,
go ahead, Tom.
So I have some thoughts on voting, right?
Tom believes you should
do it. We should do it.
Yeah,
we should do it, right?
Right.
But I think that conversation that we're having right now, right here, is kind of pointless, because because the people that are listening to us right now, they're politically motivated, they're politically interested, and they already vote, right? How do we get the people that don't vote, that don't care day to day?
All right.
How do you get to them?
Well, that makes this conversation important.
This is what you do.
Right. Because the people that are
you grab them and you shake the shit out of them and say, get your ass out there and vote.
right. Because I mean, one that I mean,
what are you drinking?
I think I knew.
Yeah, no. She hammered 2 Red Bulls before we started the show.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit tired.
No, you're not tired anymore, are you?
No.
Well, so interestingly enough, some of the things that I'm hearing from campaign consultant and political strategist is maybe doing the same thing of that door knocking isn't the way to do it, because we're not being effective with that.
No,
so
we're not.
We're going to leverage some technology, messaging systems, social media. Interestingly, I didn't realize that things like YouTube are getting the message out.
Oh,
to
yeah.
so many people.
Oh, YouTube's super powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knew? I don't know. I can't
Oh.
even barely turn
Sure.
YouTube on.
Right.
But I'm on Facebook. I'm a boomer or whatever. But yeah, so we're going to leverage some technology to try and get the message out. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to share resources. We're going to get really close with the PCOs in all of the 6 counties. And so when their candidates are out there door knocking and leaving door hangers and all that, we're going to have our materials there too, and our message. So we're going to share resources throughout the district.
Yeah, because I mean, the voter turnout in Washington State, I mean,
It's abysmal.
It's awful.
Top
I mean,
30% or something.
Yeah, it
like
was
that.
28%.
Yeah, I mean, last election, it was, I think the state average was sub 40.
Yeah.
that's awful, right? I mean, if we can just get people to get off their ass and vote, and it really doesn't matter who they vote for, because at the end of the day, I mean, if we get people just voting, eventually they're going to pay attention. They're going to do their homework. They're going to figure, oh, this is important. And common sense, I think, will reign. And that's going to push us back a little bit closer to common sense.
I appreciate where Tom is coming from with that comment. I just want to point out it is important who they vote for. I know where you're coming from. I'm not disagreeing with you, but this state has been controlled by Democrats since 1988. No, I think we all at the gas pump are like, damn.
Yeah, 4 decades.
Yeah,
we've been ruled.
Yeah,
no, and it's not going anywhere. It's not working.
Yeah, I know that's not what you meant. I know that it's not where you're going with it, but it's okay.
It's not. But I mean,
no, Tom, I'm with you. It doesn't matter who you vote for.
It really doesn't matter who you vote for, and our numbers on voters are so bad right now that people have to learn how to vote again.
Yeah. Your point is it's important to get out the vote.
In the mail.
And I mean, to be honest, I'll be coarse here. I mean, they're going to fuck it up the first few times.
Sure.
They're going to do it wrong.
That's an American thing, but we usually get it right eventually.
Yeah, we do. Let's hope so.
But
we have that spirit
we have to try first, right? Most of the states not even trying.
That's right. So as you discuss this with them, you guys are looking, it sounds like, at target marketing and using social media, right? And really spending your money wisely to try to hit specific markets.
And we got to spend our money wisely because we're on a grassroots campaign. So
right.
We're going to have to use every avenue that we can to get the message out.
Well, let's make sure, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, send us the link that you've got for your fundraising stuff. So we'll post that on our page.
Awesome.
To our followers. I don't even know how many we're up to now, about 7,000 or something like that. But
what, our followers?
Yeah, for Outlaw.
Oh,
so we'll get we'll get it out there.
Yeah, I think that 7,000 is low, bud.
It might be. Last time I looked, it was like 6,900, and we're always going up. So, but
let
anyway,
me put a plug in. It's fox4wa.com, fox4washington.com.
Perfect. It's 3 letters, folks.
Fox.
It's not hard
Fox
to remember.
For Congress.
Fox and socks. I mean, there was some basic Dr. Seuss.
That's right. That's right. So let's get into some of the issues. But let me ask you this first. Specifically, right? The first issue that got you like off your chair that said, okay, that's enough, was her comments made to Congress that afternoon about a month ago or so?
Right. So, Emily's supposed to be representing the 6th district of Washington state. And so she's in a House Oversight Committee hearing, and we're talking about Somalian daycare fraud, right?
Right.
And we have all known, and we've found out even at that point that extended into Washington state.
For sure.
Instead of Emily drilling down, finding out how much it's hitting our wallets out here in our pocketbooks, instead she took the opportunity to race bait and bash white men.
Yes.
And she said that white men commit a disproportionately higher rate of crime than illegal aliens. And come on, that is the thing that was the catalyst for me. But, we know that that's not true, number one. And number two, like we were saying, that she's alienated about 67% of the constituency in her district. So yeah, that was really the catalyst for me.
Well, that's a pretty good one, because then came the protest at her house just a couple of days later.
I was really hoping when we went up there and protested that she was going to come out, she was in Washington, D.C., I guess, but that she would come out with a statement and walk back her remarks, because, that's beyond the pale for a representative to be.
My first observation would be, I think she failed probability and statistics in math.
Well, they have those creative statistics on that side. They get the talking points every morning in the mail. Indivisible sends them an email every morning, and they get all these talking points.
And for those that are wondering what she meant by Indivisible, that is a nonprofit political organization that started when Barack Obama was no longer up for election and Donald Trump first won. And it was created. In fact, we had a couple of their members on right after they were created. And it did not take long to understand their bent, right? They aren't just the people that are Democrats these are far left individuals, and they're far left talking points. And you're right, Emily follows them like she's reading a cue card.
Yeah.
100%. And that's the one thing that every chance I get when I see her post, man, I'm on her page, because you can't go out there and tell the people of the 6th district, I represent you, but then refuse to represent half of them.
Exactly.
Right. We have a lot of issues going on in our district.
Yes.
I'm old enough to remember when we had a really booming coast out there. We had a vibrant fishing industry, maritime recreational, commercial fishing. We had a booming timber and paper industry out there, and all those tourism dollars that went with that. The national parks were open. The national forest was open. All that's been pretty much closed down, particularly since COVID. So all those tourism dollars are gone as well. And now even out on the coast, the hospitality industry is getting impacted. People go out there for the scenery, and instead of having timber and all that good stuff, now we just want to have people go look at the environment. Well, even the hospitality industry is getting impacted because the streets are full of homeless people. God love them. We got to do something about that. But people don't want to come and visit cities where people are laying on the streets and we're crime ridden.
Well, I mean, you're 100% correct. And I think Seattle is a perfect example of that, right? Like, it's a big city, but it's also a microcosm of the whole state. And I think you have identified that problem. Although we do know, as I pointed out earlier, we can take a couple of us, Alicia, you can come with me. We'll go out and register them to vote as Republicans. We'll go from there.
Do we have to bring cigarettes? Is that the deal,
we might have to bring cigarettes. Yeah, that video
Cigarettes
was
and porn.
Porn too, right? Okay.
Damn.
I don't know.
No more Red Bull for you.
I'm gonna bring them socks.
I would recommend, whiskey and weed, but whatever.
Yeah, you might be on to something.
I have a
there,
question
Tom.
for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So one of the things we've seen with Emily so much is her identity politics. How are you going to ensure that you're representing everyone within the district and aren't alienating those 67, or I guess it would be the other 33%.
33%.
Even it could overlap. So who knows? It could be 100. How are you going to represent everyone in your district, unlike Emily?
So one of the big things that I want to do is, while I'm campaigning, number one is go out and do like listening sessions, town halls. And I actually want to go out into the lion's den too and see if we can get into some of the more left organizations, the unions, talk to the rank and file members. But then, like later on, once I am elected, what I want to do is use technology so that we can get input from our constituents. I want to be able to be back there, and if a bill comes in, summarize that thing, blast it out to everybody in the district that's interested, tell them what it's about, get their feelings on it, and then get input back to us so that we can make a good decision for the whole district about how we want to vote on something. That being said, I want to clarify that too, that when I'm elected, I'm never going to be able to do something as a representative. I don't care if 67% of the district wants ice cream with sprinkles today. If it's illegal or it's repugnant to the Constitution, we're not going to be able to vote for that as a representative. So I think that that's something that's missing with this representation as well. I think that there's a sense back there that we can just do whatever
you want,
whatever we want. It doesn't matter what the law says. It doesn't matter what the Constitution says. So, I really feel like leveraging technology is going to be one of the big ways that we can get more representation, more voices to be heard, instead of just that small segment of the population that we're in right now.
To remind people, Emily, when she ran for office, when she ran for her state position, right, one of her big issues was, she's like, every bill that I vote on, I will look at it through the lens of the LGBTQ community. Yeah. And it's like, but that's 7% of your constituents, right? Like you need to look at things. Take your glasses off.
Yeah.
Right. So I think a lot of the attitude we're seeing from her in DC now was learned and absorbed from Washington State Democrats while she was here local. Right. And then she's just carried it forward as if that's somehow an endearing quality. Maybe it is for people in Seattle. Yeah. Right. But it isn't for the rest of us.
Not a good look.
And one of the big things that drives me crazy with, when we're talking about representing just a slim segment of the population, like I said, we've got issues here in our state that we need to deal with. And she's back there running around on our dime, flying to Minnesota. Right. She's protesting ICE. She's over at the Northwest Detention Center 6 times now.
Right.
Rabble rousing over there.
Thinking she's going to learn something different each time she goes. Yeah.
Yeah. But all the while we've got problems that we need to have addressed at the federal level.
Right. Right. So it sounds to me like you're really making the case because it's a job and she was voted to take that job by her constituents. And really, she just flat out, it's incredibly poor for performance. Right.
Lord.
Yeah.
Incredibly poor performance. Yeah. And no sense of decorum whatsoever either.
Correct.
One of the things that really bothers me about the way that she's representing us back there, I feel like this is an important job that we should take seriously, that we're representing the citizens of the United States of America. And when you're walking around the hallowed hallowed halls
Mhm.
of Congress, you should be having a sense of decorum. You shouldn't be bailing out on the presidential State of the Union address. You shouldn't be sitting there screeching when the president is talking. I just think that we need to bring back a state of decorum back to this position and to that office.
It's almost as if she took a page out of the Jasmine Crockett book of congressional decorum.
Yeah.
It just it gets to the point where you don't even want to listen to him anymore, because not only are you not, and this squad mentality, right?
Right.
And you watch those folks and you listen to them and you want to give them respect because of the position that they're elected to, but then you hear them speak.
It's really hard to do.
Yeah. I think I couldn't say it better.
The other thing that I want to say about myself is I feel like I'm going to be able to bring some maturity and some judgment and some real world experience. I mean, I've worked on the deck plates. I didn't just go to Wellesley College and work on Hillary's campaign and then go to work for an NGO. I've been out in the real world, and I feel like maybe she hasn't. She's got a different world view. And, we really need to focus on what's good for the working families in Washington in our district,
right?
Instead of some of these other narrow niche issues. We got to prioritize
100%.
things. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about an individual that was, while the power was out in the middle of a big storm, took a picture of herself sitting by her gas fireplace, right? And then voted to eliminate gas powered stoves. It's like you just shake your head and you're like, are we living in the same world?
No.
Yeah, so out of touch with normal people. What is wrong with our representatives?
Yeah.
They drank too much Red
and
Bull.
I got to say too that I see her coming back from Washington D.C. and she's doing the selfie TikTok video when she's walking from the ferry, and we've got homeless people all over the streets in downtown Bremerton. And all the things that go along with that. Those people are living in really tragic conditions. People are getting raped. They're on drugs. It's just awful, and we really should be doing something about that instead of making TikTok videos about what we're going to cook for dinner.
Right, and to that point, right, we are as we treat the least of us, and as we look at folks that have whatever the issues are that they're dealing with at that given time, they need assistance, right? But yet we're putting all of our effort into helping people that made a choice to come here illegally, something that if the rest of us did anywhere else, we'd be locked up, thrown away.
Yeah.
Right.
Or shot before we could come across.
Or that.
Yeah, those aren't places you want to visit.
Right? Even with a tourist visa. Yeah.
Those aren't places you want to go.
Right. Let's talk about a couple of the specific issues. Okay. Tell us about your thoughts on immigration, ICE, how they're doing, what you think they're doing right, what you think they're doing wrong, how you might use your voice to affect either change or tell the president, hey, I like what you're doing. Just tell us a little bit about your thoughts on it. You've got a grin on your face, kind of. So I think you probably have a pretty good opinion.
So
coming
I
on
do
this.
have a pretty good opinion. So I'm gonna temper my personal opinion with the fact that if I'm representing the folks in our district, I'm gonna represent what the majority of our constituents want, as long as it's not against the law, right? So I am all for law enforcement. I think that we need to actually, frankly, step up the illegal immigration and deport people. There may be some things that we should be doing with legal immigration. That's something that bears taking a look at. I hear different opinions on that. Some people say that, we need more immigrant workers up in Linden, for example, or we need to actually close all that down because we have enough workers here in the United States. So I think that that's a complicated issue. What I will also say, though, is that I'm really encouraged by things like the new Shutdown Sanctuary Policies Act. I don't know if you've heard about that, but Tom McClintock, a congressman from California, introduced that just a couple weeks ago. And it's going to hold sanctuary states like ours and our criminal elected officials accountable.
Good.
And it's got some really good teeth in there for things like if a municipality lets out an illegal alien and he goes on to commit a crime, then it's going to allow for the family to be able to sue the municipality. And also it's got a lot of teeth for holding those criminal electeds accountable. So I think that there's a lot that goes on with this illegal alien topic and immigration.
I get it. You're speaking my language. 18 USC 111, right? It's why when it comes to sanctuary cities, towns, counties, states, like to me, every politician that votes yes on that is basically they're committing their own version of a crime,
So one thing I'm committed to is if I do make it to Congress, I want to bring Bob Ferguson and Nick Brown in on the hot seat, just like Tim Walz was,
Right.
into the House Oversight Committee and figure out what's going on. And if they have transgressions, they need to be held accountable, referred to DOJ for investigation.
It's almost as if Washington State has been invisible to Congress, right? You see these other officials, state officials being brought into Congress and having to testify in front of committees. And yet these guys sit out here, they say whatever they want, they do whatever they want. It's very discouraging from a constituent standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is.
Take a deep breath, because it is. We could probably spend an hour just talking about the immigration issues. And for myself, as somebody, I worked as an immigration facilitator for 6 months, long enough to see that it wasn't a place I wanted to be. There are issues, but they're rectifiable issues, right?
Yes, definitely.
And you don't necessarily need, as the president proved, you don't need bipartisan support to fix those issues, right? Man came in, man signed some executive orders, border fixed, right? And
that's awesome.
That's right. And the entire line that was spewed for 4 years by the Democrats was absolute nonsense. I think everybody saw it. It was embarrassing for them, but in typical congressional fashion, they just blew it off and moved on, right? There was no consequences for them. What do you see? Go ahead.
Can I just say one quick
Yes.
thing? You know, one of the really tragic things that's associated with all of this illegal immigration is crimes of all different manner and sort. We've got sex trafficking of kids. We've got human trafficking. We've got cartels slinging illegal drugs and all the drug deaths associated with that. You know, we've got 130,000 people a year throughout the United States dying of drug overdoses. And one of the things that I feel really deeply about is that 100% of crime committed by illegal alien is 100% preventable. If they're not here, they can't be committing the crime.
Right. Agreed. It bothers me because you hear that argument, like it gets spun, right? And they use it against the NRA and legal gun owners, right? Well, if you didn't have guns would, and they're so not comparable. Right. And it's troublesome because there's a lot of verbiage that gets used and gets thrown around that people that don't do what we do, right, sitting here and talking about these issues, right, they're not in a position where they have the issues in their back pocket and they can counter when somebody comes out and says something like that.
Yeah, right.
So it's problematic, which is where messaging for people in Congress becomes so important. And I think that we've seen, unfortunately, a lot of that messaging get lost in the last few months. And I'm really hoping that, when you're elected, that you're going to help be able to bring some of that messaging back. And your experience in OSHA, right? I mean, your entire life has been rooted around rules, laws. Yes. Yeah. And I think that for somebody like yourself, that makes you uniquely qualified to be able to, like, some people get into Congress that were lawyers and stuff like that, right? But that's not the same. Like, to me, you have a better perspective on it because your rules and your laws are state. They're might as well be written in stone.
Yeah.
And every one of them has a good reason for being there, right? Whereas a lawyer's job when they come in is to argue why something is good or bad, right? And so everything that they talk about, it has this, percentage of width that says as long as they're in this area, they're okay, right? So I just want to point out that I think where you're coming from on this stuff makes you uniquely qualified.
Thank
so I like that a lot. Did we have a question?
We have a few questions, I think.
Oh boy.
Do you want to read the questions from chat?
Sure. Margie wants to know what you think about cutting or stopping congressional pay during a shutdown.
So probably, I guess, what does Margie think about it would be my answer for our constituents. But yeah, personally, obviously, we should do that. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous what's going on right now.
Yeah.
For sure, we should be shutting it down.
Yeah.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then Mike, I don't know, Mike, what were you referring to when you said, doesn't that just cost taxpayers of the state?
When do those making us a sanctuary city get held accountable? I think that's a better question. We could stick with that one.
Yeah. When do those making us a sanctuary city get held accountable?
When do they get held accountable?
Yeah.
I think the answer is never, but
but when we get enough people together in Congress that are willing and able to start holding them accountable, like I said, that new Shutdown Sanctuary Policies Act is going to be able to hold them accountable if Congress has the will to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a big point. If Congress has the will,
we do have a problem with illegal immigration, but we definitely need a complete overhaul of our immigration system.
I appreciate and respect where you're coming from on that. I just want, as somebody who came from the inside of that world for a short period of time, like I actually felt that the system's really not the issue, right? Because our job was to help people, especially nurses, get their visas and come to the country. We made sure they had all the qualifications, but we charged a lot of money to do it, and that was our job as a facilitator. The problem was everything we were charging them money for, they could do for free if they just went to their to the consulate in their home country. Problem was a lot of them were coming here and then trying to do it. That was the problem that they were running into.
Yeah.
But so the way that the laws, and a lot of people don't even realize there's a lottery out there.
Okay, but what about the 5 million backlog in the immigration court?
But that's not as a direct result of immigration law. That's as a direct result of people already having come here and there not being enough judges.
Right, but they are a part of the bureaucracy that is the immigration judicial system.
But that's different than the immigration laws.
Right, buddy, but that all falls under the purview of whatever revamp they do.
It may. It
does.
May. That would come down to Congress's decision.
Yeah, I'm just saying we need a complete revamp of it.
Okay, I accept your opinion.
We have such a it's a huge backlog.
So let's move on.
Okay.
All right, Teresa. Let's talk about some of the other issues that you have with our esteemed congressional representative here in the 6th District. Talk to me about your thoughts on her voting record.
So, just when I think it can't get any worse, every day I look at the voting record. I mean, one of the things that she did recently was the thing about Iran and refusing to designate it as a state sponsor of terror. She voted against that.
Right. They have been for almost 40 years.
Yeah. And then, right. But just every day it's something new with her. I can't think of what it was today, but she's voting again against funding TSA. And I think what the whole deal there is, if I understand it right, is that they're holding hostage. They want 1.5 trillion for the Affordable Care Act and, funding for illegal aliens again. So, it's just poor judgment over and over and over that I see on her votes.
Absolutely. And then at the same time, of course, she tells everybody that Republicans are holding everybody hostage, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And at the same time, they're saying, but you have to vote on our Affordable Care Act.
Right. So that brings me to another point that I wanted to make. I was just down in Grays Harbor, and I was talking to a gal, and she said that she had attended one of Emily's town halls back when the budget was when they were withholding the budget and blaming it on Republicans. And she said in that town hall that Emily actually said that she kept voting no on it so that it would make the Republicans look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have another example. A friend of mine, he actually was working with her in the state to pass a bill, some legislation, and I won't say what it was or who it was because he doesn't need to be thumped. But that she actually told him that, she disagreed with the bill, but that she was going to go ahead and introduce it for their organization because she needed the votes. And I just feel like that's not the way that a representative should be speaking, talking, acting. It's just not right.
Well,
and the other thing that, we were talking about bad votes. Why is she so worried about the Epstein files? Like I say, we've got a lot of things going on in our district. I don't know if we have any Epstein victims here. That's a tragic thing, but seriously, is that the most important thing on our hot plate right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, when we're at war, really? I mean, yeah. I think it's,
you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and obviously nobody's able to discern in all of those files what's actually important versus what isn't. Do you want to look up safe boats in Belfair because they were in the files somewhere?
Exactly. Right.
Like the company did something.
I
don't think so. Whoopi Goldberg, for God's sakes.
No.
It's just it's just ridiculous stuff.
But as a representative, you have to prioritize the issue.
That's right.
You can't get sidetracked protesting ICE in
That's
Minnesota.
Right. Well, and as a congresswoman, the Jeffrey Epstein files really aren't your place. That's for law enforcement. That's not a congressperson's place. So I'm there with you.
Yeah.
I'm there with you. Okay, I think Dennis has our clip that's ready to play.
Oh, very good.
So we'll play that clip. And
white men commit a disproportionately higher rate of crime. I just can't keep hammering on that enough.
Right. Well, it's a pretty good point to hammer on. So she's going to go grab Dennis and then he's going to play the clip for us. So that'll
Did you not notice he wasn't sitting next to you?
Well, no, I'm not looking over here.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking.
I think that it's important to get factual information out there, though. I think as a congressperson that you should not be spewing misinformation and cycling up your constituents, right?
I will
You know,
tell you.
we're inciting violence in many cases.
And she has clearly not been afraid to do that. And I mean, she sat in studio with us years ago when she
Yeah, I was
first
wondering
ran
about
for
that.
yeah, she first ran for her position, and the question came up about ghost bills, because as a Democrat, you know, if she was going to go into the state legislature, you know, what was her position on the ghost bills? Could she commit to not being willing to vote on ghost bills? And her response is, well, Democrats only do it because Republicans did it first. Are you effing kidding me? Republican
Not 12 in high school.
Right, and Republicans haven't controlled anything since 1988.
Yeah.
They didn't exist then. They just started doing it in the last 10 years, you know. And it was just the most ungodly, ridiculously BS answer. And it's just you just ask yourself, so somebody that votes for you listens to you give answers like this and must just take you at face value for the things that you say, because it was such a patent bold-faced lie.
Wow.
And you just kind of shake your head like, that's just nuts, man.
It's just not true.
Yeah. Okay, so we have that clip ready to play, as I understand, Dennis. Yep. Okay, so if you want to put your headset on so you can hear, and then we'll go ahead and play this clip, and then you can speak to it as soon as it's over. Okay, so this is a clip that we're playing of Emily Randall that Teresa would like to comment on.
I just joined my Democratic colleagues here on the House steps to announce that we are headed in the building to sign a discharge petition that will fully fund TSA, Coast Guard,
Oh, this is a
FEMA,
different one.
the important and law-abiding
Okay, you comment on this
elements
one then.
of the Department of Homeland Security that our neighbors rely on, that allow us to fly, that allow us to protect our coasts, that allow us to ensure that we are responding to disasters as they happen. This administration, Republican majority, and the Trump administration is holding these agencies hostage in order to continue funneling money into the lawless ICE and Border Patrol operations that are killing people in the streets. My neighbors have been clear. They don't want another dollar going to shoot people in the streets, to allow a lawless agency to run rampant, and to continue a war on immigrants and democratic cities and states. What we want is a government that functions. And we have been at the negotiating table time and time again. The White House position is no. That's why we're going to introduce what I'm confident will be our fourth successful discharge petition, to bring just a couple Republicans across the aisle to ensure that our government can function. We're here working for you. We're going to keep showing up. We're going to keep fighting for a government that works, not a government that allows masked agents to terrorize people in the streets.
Thank you, Dennis.
Hey, you know what?
So I'm going to bite my tongue, Teresa. I want to let you comment.
You're going to
on
bite
that
your
first.
tongue.
Yeah, because
it's going to be hard for me to bite my tongue.
I want you free flow. Let it go.
Well, you know, a couple things about that. So, A, you know, she's inciting violence again, as usual. You know, but B, she's not being honest about that. You know, this, they're going to obstruct things again. They're just going to clog the wheels of Congress back there. And I think that the thing that's being held hostage, isn't it the fact that they won't vote for funding the TSA because they want $1.5 trillion for the ACA and illegal immigration and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, the healthcare problem that jacked everybody's health insurance through the roof.
Right,
Mhm.
right. Yeah. Not factual information, inciting violence, not representing her constituents whatsoever, in my opinion.
Right. Alicia, you wanted to say something? No?
It was a total joke. I was
Okay.
just going to say newsflash, Emily Randall. More people have been shot by trans people in 2025
Right?
and 2026
Oh, you went there.
than have been killed by ICE.
And that doesn't even get to the fact why ICE is wearing masks, right? You know, because far left organizations have gone
Well-
out of their way to dox them.
Will dox them and
Murder
yes,
them.
and then people get hurt.
Yeah.
And nothing like people in disguise.
I you know, it
I was scared. It isn't part of the Antifa uniform, a black hoodie with your hood up and a balaclava over your
Mhm.
face.
I think it's definitely in their SOP.
I
It is in their
I think so.
Mhm.
Yeah, just a thought.
So obviously I had him play the wrong one. So
That's okay.
the one that you wanted played was, can you explain it
It's just that clip where she keeps saying when she was in that Somali daycare hearing, and
Okay.
instead of drilling down about how it's impacting us, she just keeps saying that white men commit that disproportionately higher rate of crime than illegal aliens.
Yeah,
And
well-
man, that's the one that really gets me.
Yeah.
Let me say this in Emily Randall's defense. Okay, now nobody throw anything.
Oh,
at me.
boy.
Nobody throw anything at me.
I'm
Okay,
getting my wet noodle
let's
right
take
now.
let's take a deep breath. Ready? There is no defense. That was the most god-awful, ridiculous thing I've ever heard. The idea, when you've got a country that's made, I don't know, what are we now, 300 million? I don't even know.
300 and almost 80.
380?
Almost 80.
Almost.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say when you look at percentages out of that, what, 300 million are Caucasian?
70% is Caucasian.
And
Yeah.
and that it I think
Right.
there's probably she was attempting some uneducated wordplay there.
That is why I brought up the fact that I think she failed probability
Right.
statistics.
Yeah, the whole yeah.
And the other thing, it's a false equivalency.
Absolutely.
Okay, so illegal aliens are committing crime, right?
Mhm.
Can we all agree that crime is bad? I don't care if it's them that are committing it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care if it's white guys that are committing it. Crime is bad. We need to stop the crime.
I
Yes.
mean, I think that's as simple as not eating Tide Pods. But
I don't know. When that becomes a generational
Really?
defining moment.
That's right,
You had
right?
to take us there.
Yeah.
Nailed
Tide
it.
Pod.
I mean,
Yes.
Yes.
Let me say this. I'm curious if everybody agrees on this. Is it and is does it make somebody illegal when they cross the border without permission?
They
What are
have
you talking-
committed a crime
Mhm.
Well,
against U.S. code. I'm sorry.
That's right.
It's a crime.
and the Canadians would agree with that, and so would the Mexicans and anyone else that has sovereign borders.
Mhm. Look, I was traveling with a family member. We were on the ferry going from Port Angeles over to Canada,
yeah.
and he had a DUI in his record.
hmm
Nobody thought anything about it.
Uh-oh.
We get over there, and getting off the ferry,
They wouldn't let him
stopped him,
Oh,
put
no
him on the
kidding.
ferry, sent him right back.
in. Yeah.
Like for a DUI.
Yeah,
Like that's serious business there, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they don't mess around.
They don't let you in the country.
Which is silly.
I'll let you could fly in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
You can fly in.
You can fly them. You can't leave the airport.
Yeah, because you can't go in the country if you have a DUI in the United States.
No, I'm pretty sure that you can fly into the country. and
Well, yeah, they're not
that's
going to
fine.
stop you on the plane, and they can't just turn around and put you on the next plane flight out. Somebody's got to pay
No,
for it.
I don't know. I think I'm
Yeah,
sure that's right. I was talking to someone that had a DUI, and they said that they had to fly in.
Maybe they got a waiver.
Maybe. Probably a
Interesting.
waiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Well, we should be strict here too.
Yeah,
I think that's
fine.
the
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what is wrong with our neighbors being strict and everybody else being strict, but we have to be we have to be the world's
Big brother.
and
We
and
don't.
yeah, and provide some form of relief for everybody.
Right.
Especially when we look at how much we're paying in all of our taxes, God forbid,
Yes.
like they're not going down.
Yes.
I mean, we have, I think we're the highest gas tax in the nation here in the state, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are now. Yeah.
Like at $1.60 a gallon or something, and it's only going to go up.
But we're going to make climate change.
Right. I mean, I don't think does anybody that's listening not
Tongue in
understand
cheek.
that the climate issues that the Democrats in Washington state put in the state out in the state legislature have caused our gas prices to go so
It's
high?
ridiculous. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
there's an entire different process that has to go through in order to make gas for this state, so which is part of what makes it so much more expensive. But strangely, other states that don't have those policies in place are not spontaneously combusting. You know, that their glaciers aren't melting; they're not sinking beneath the sea. My head's going to explode over this stuff.
And by the way, the world was much, much hotter 4-point-something billion years ago.
It
when
is.
started. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't
It's-
mean we
it's
shouldn't,
cooling.
but it doesn't mean we shouldn't be taking care of our environment. We're
Well,
not
that's-
advocating
No.
that.
But that's the thing. Like you look at people, the steak fishermen, for example, in
Yeah.
Washington State. I spent years working at the Marine Science Center in Paulsbo. Right, we were educating the public, especially school kids, on the marine environment. And as we were out there scuba diving, because one of the ways that we earned money for the nonprofit was we would sell specimens to other aquariums.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, they need a starfish or a 6-gill shark or whatever. So we do our best. We got to catch it. We sell it. And nothing was more destructive. And I mean, not even close. And I hate to put it this way, but the only people that can harvest gooey ducks in Puget Sound are the native tribes. Okay. And if you go to an area scuba diving What they do is they come to the bottom of a slope, a downward slope, and they hit it with a cannon of water. And that causes all of the mud to just flood and come rushing down. And because the gooey ducks are deep, they're like 2, 3, 4 feet deep. So then the hardhead divers just go by and they pick the gooey ducks up. Well, guess what happens to all of the area that's beneath where they were hitting with the water cannon?
Eroded.
No, it gets buried.
Oh.
So all of the life that was below where they wanted to harvest the gooey gets killed and destroyed. So basically, whatever area they choose to harvest their gooey ducks from, they destroy double the area. They destroy the area where the dirt comes down and then below it. They are the most destructive organizations that I've ever seen, and yet that's protected, right? But the guy who wants to get a fishing license, he's the problem and he's the danger, right?
Exactly.
So there's a massive, on a federal and on a state level, it's just the priorities are bass backwards.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to fix that other than by electing representatives
that are going to really dig deep into the issue.
Yes.
You know, that makes me think of another issue that the people down out on the coast are facing is the Department of Natural Resources. They just put in a bill and passed a law here that so riparian buffers on streams that are not fish bearing, instead of being 50 feet back, they're going to be 75 feet back. And that's going to take hundreds of thousands of acre out of timber production. So
you're right.
That's an issue. You
Yeah.
know, that's another thing that we should be looking at.
I mean, and to be honest, I felt that they've done a very good job with construction and building with a 50-foot buffer.
Yeah.
It seems to be a good place. You know, if you're doing new construction and you're 50 feet from a stream, you can put in your proper erosion and environmental controls and feel pretty good about it. You know, unless you're Walmart. Sorry, that story goes way back to the Walmart that they built in Bremerton and the creek down there that flowed into Brownsville. They killed off the whole salmon run because they didn't pay attention, right? They started building during the wet season and it was a mess. Anyway, so just to give you an idea, because we're at the top of the hour here, we're at 8 o'clock. So what we're going to do is, when you leave, Teresa, and you're welcome to stay, you're welcome to listen on Facebook. But here's what we do. This is kind of a
YouTube.
tradition.
Don't forget our YouTubers.
Yeah.
YouTube? What's YouTube?
So
I got to get with the program.
But I think you're doing pretty well. But what I was going to say is we take the opportunity when a candidate leaves to talk about them behind their back.
Oh, no, I want to watch.
Yeah, you absolutely can. So we're positive, we're critical. We all say what's on our mind and we talk about the candidates.
Okay.
From kind of a layman's perspective, salt to the earth, except Alicia. She doesn't fall into that category. She's much better than the rest of us. And
You're so sweet.
I know.
Well, I have a thick
I know.
skin,
Ask Amber.
so
She'll
I'll
tell you.
survive.
I'm a sweet guy.
Kevin can just stay in San Diego.
I know. We'll just leave him down there. So
okay.
I want to give let's give
Just
the
kidding,
website.
Kevin.
Let's
you.
give out the information one more time so that our your constituents, your future constituents, can have it.
FOXFORWA.com.
FoxForWashington.com. I love it.
Okay.
So
Woohoo!
and again, we'll put that website out on our site. And we'll push it out there for you. And but you got to make me a promise before. Now your election is coming up, right?
August. Primary. Correct.
Okay. You got anybody running against you in the primary?
No, sirree, Bob.
Okay. Now make me a promise that you will come back and talk to us. Maybe right before the primary, but definitely after. So 1-2 more times we'll get you on, okay?
Happy to do
and,
that.
And we'll push that guy. Maybe we can get you on with some other candidates too, Republican candidates that are running, and have a nice round table and give everybody a chance to talk and put their 2 cents worth
Very
in.
good. Yeah.
So Teresa,
Appreciate
thank
being
you
here.
very much. Appreciate
Thank
your time.
you.
Teresa
Lisa,
Fox for
good seeing
Congress.
you. Thank you.
And
right.
and I can't tell folks enough. Now, once she packs up and leaves, we're going to talk about her behind her back. Although she may not. For the listening audience, we're going to tell you she's left. I appreciate them. Tom, do you want your seat back?
Yeah, I'll come up and join you guys.
Break and then we'll talk about
Yep.
this when we're off the air. Awesome.
All right, very
I'm
good.
gonna go see a man about a
So
horse
we're gonna
during the break.
go to break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Outlaw Radio Network. Maybe at some point Kevin will join us. He says he will, but you know he's about as dependable as a Democrat. Oh.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I
Paul,
have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
that's the Outlaw Radio Network, Sunday nights at their new time from 6 to 10.
Outlaw Radio Network.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager fell victim to fake pills. Smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Where are these pills coming from, and how are kids getting them? Right from under our noses, crooks are targeting kids on social media and selling them counterfeit pills that could seal their fate with the click of a button. It may seem harmless, maybe it doesn't even seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. So before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This episode of Outlaw Radio Network brought to you by Destination Highway 420 in Bremerton. If you're looking for a knowledgeable cannabis shop with a great local vibe, check out Destination Highway 420. They offer a wide selection of Washington State cannabis products, including flower, pre-rolls, edibles, and concentrates from trusted producers across the state. Their friendly staff can help you find exactly what you're looking for in a relaxed, welcoming environment. Visit Destination Highway 420 at 1225 Hollis Street in Bremerton. Must be 21 years or older with valid ID.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network, powered by our friends at Destination Highway 420, Kitsap County's premier stop for premium selection. Find your destination today, 21 and over.
This is Spike Cohen. This is Jesse Young.
I'm Brandy Cruz, host of the Undivided Podcast.
And you're listening to
my friends on the
Outlaw
Radio Network.
It is essential.
We're good.
Hey, are we here? Here we go. Sorry, guys.
All's good.
We were discussing some of my marijuana knowledge that I'm attaining.
Well, you know what? I appreciate you teaching us the information because, there's an event coming up on the 18th, correct?
18th of April,
At Highway 420.
Destination Highway 420.
Right. And you're going to be doing taste testing and some other stuff. And then are you judging?
Yeah, I'm going to be a judge. So I think I don't know exactly the specifics yet, but
Okay.
We're going to be smoking it and then judging on stuff that does not involve the highness that we get. So like
I
the
get you.
taste, the color, like,
Okay.
that kind of stuff. Like,
I got you. You make sure you send that date to your parents because I'm going to drag them out. I think they might enjoy that.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And then after that, of course, we have our annual WrestleMania party at Kevin's house. And well, I mean, you'll it's a blast. But if you don't come, I understand. It's okay. It's good. I mean, you got a man, you got a thing that you're doing stuff. You're helping him, I'm sure. Yeah. She's like, it's like, I'm sure he hasn't. Wait a second. He hasn't asked me that, asshole. It's all good. It's all good. We're not going to dig into your private life. All right, good. All we know is Kevin's no longer allowed to touch your hair.
That's right.
It must feel nice, like having a reprieve tonight, right? Yeah. Like there's nobody back behind you. You just grabbing your hair and just yanking it. Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't, but he stopped when I really put my foot down on that. So
that's good. Tegan, good to see you, dear. So
I'm off. Great.
All right, guys. I want to take a second here and turn your mic on. Really? On. No, I was talking to Tom. I can't hear you. Maybe Dennis may have to turn you on. Yeah, so Dennis will get you in here in just a second. Anyway, I want to take a second and talk about our candidate, Teresa Fox, that we just had in here.
Yeah.
I want to know what you guys think. Break it down. Mm-hmm. Give me your thoughts. Tom, would you like to go first or ladies first? What are your thoughts?
If Alicia has immediate thoughts, go for it.
I don't have immediate thoughts.
Okay.
She's a lady. She has to take a moment to collect herself. Go ahead, Tom.
Right, because I'm a little feminine.
So I think my first one, we didn't get a chance to like dig in on a personal level or anything and kind of get what makes her tick. So my first concern, I joke about OSHA manuals bursting into flame around me.
Tom, we all do.
Yeah, but I mean it's a joke, but there's something behind it because OSHA can go too far, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anytime you get into like that,
we feel they go too far, right?
Right, but I mean, you and I are the guys that live it on the front lines, and it's like you see the need for it, but you also see where it oversteps its bounds.
And my favorite one with that in mind, right, is the roofer wearing the harness and the rope, right? I'm like, I'm on a single story, two pitch, right? And I'm like, if I fall off, it's my own fault. But then again, you frequently get your feet wrapped up in the ropes.
Sure.
And you're just like, I hate the ropes.
Yeah. Again, there is a point where those regulations go too far. And so, if I'm discussing politics with a politician who is, or hopeful politician who has been part of that bureaucratic process, are they coming into it broken? That's my first concern, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to know more about her. I want to know more about
Well, that's good because I made arrangements with her to get her back on at least one or two more times.
Good,
yeah,
good. Because I mean, I want to be.
You want to make sure she's coming at it for the right reasons.
The right reasons, and without the bureaucratic red tape.
Yeah. Well, in her defense, we didn't get a chance to really dig on that. So
right. But I mean, I guess it's the libertarian side of me, right?
Too damn analytical for a libertarian.
No,
Tom, I'm being facetious, man.
Thank you. I was like, well, what are you talking about? Too analytical. I mean,
he was about to get analytical with you.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my concern, right? I mean, regulations exist for a reason. And there are reasons for regulations to not exist. You got to have some personal accountability in there at some point. It's like
$15,000 to go to the city's water. It ran 10 feet, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I got you.
That's my
incredibly concern. But that's very insightful of you to say. And what a gentleman for not saying anything pleasant about her. You prick. Go ahead.
There was nothing unpleasant about her visit. She was
yeah, she was very pleasant. She
was very pleasant to be around.
I got the pleasantries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, here's the libertarian, the guy who's supposed to love everybody, steps up to the mic and busted on her because she's
I didn't bust on her at all. What I said, I mean, when you get down to it, that's exactly it. It's like I need more data.
Yeah.
Right.
Data.
Yeah,
okay.
I do. I need more data.
Okay.
Number one, I love how well spoken she was. She did not seem nervous at all. There was no hitch to her voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That is really rare to see with a first-time candidate like this. So I really like that.
Confident out the gate.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Yeah. And confidence is inspiring. It's important.
And she definitely had that, you guys. There was no hesitation in her voice. There was no shake. There was none of that.
Nope.
And then
and there was no mincing words, right? She was clear.
Yeah, she was
clear.
Yeah.
I respect that.
You
as
understand
well.
you understand her position on the few issues she got a chance to discuss.
One of the things I do want to see from her going forward, though, and I know with this big of a race, being able to come out against your opponent is a huge thing, and she absolutely should be using the words that come out of Emily Randall's mouth against her. 1000%, she should be using
Hallelujah.
all of that.
Yeah.
But from my perspective and what I was trying to get out with her, I wanted to hear what she would do and not what Emily was doing wrong.
Mhm.
So hopefully next
Well, I
time
think
she
and
comes in,
we
she's
can
got-
make sure we get into that. Yeah.
No, yeah, and I get that, and she's still developing her platform and all that, so it's not like, so hopefully the next time she comes back on, we get a clear indicator of everything that she's standing on.
Yeah. We didn't even get a chance to touch on our platform.
didn't.
I mean,
We
it's a
didn't.
1 hour
Yeah.
first interview for us.
It seems, pardon me, it seems very early still in her campaign efforts.
Yeah.
Right before the show, I did a bit of a dive on, just into who she is. It was, pretty simple. What's available on the internet, there's not a lot of depth.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah, if people go looking, there's not much.
Right. Yeah. There's not much there to dig into right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully, as things go, she has someone that's helping her,
she does
flush that out.
She
so
does have
that-
a team behind
yeah,
her and everything.
yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't want to step on you. Go ahead. You keep going.
I was not going to say anything. I was listening to you.
Oh, okay. Are you done then? You good?
I wasn't saying anything.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I didn't want to walk on you while you were trying to explain what your thoughts were about it. I will say this to piggyback off of what you two were pointing out. There was a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
That's a big
That's
plus.
important.
It is.
Yeah.
You look at some of the politicians that we've had, and as much as I don't agree with any of his politics, Barack Obama was a very good communicator, right?
Yep.
He was well spoken and he was great at
Yeah,
giving
I would have to agree with it to respect it.
Right,
Right. I mean, if you say exactly what you mean and you mean exactly what you say,
yep.
Yes.
I respect you for being clear.
Right.
I may not like what you said.
Yeah.
But I respect you for being clear.
Yeah. And there was no ambiguity in the thing she said. It wasn't like
Right.
listening to somebody say, I just had the biggest, greatest, hugest thing ever possible happen. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, because the same
Huge.
It
was
huge. Yeah. The same four sentences are
Huge. It
used
was
to,
bigly.
to describe everything that they do. Right. You get to the, I just watched the Melania documentary this weekend.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
And
how was it?
I've heard it's
boring,
nap inducing.
Yeah, but here's the. I mean, it gives you nice insight into her and how she is, and she is
I
clearly.
I don't
nothing
care.
Like you just have to ask yourself, like, I don't know what brought those two together.
Yeah,
Money.
I don't care.
But
I mean, I've thought that from the beginning. So.
but
money.
But I get your position. I was just going to draw the comparison, right?
Yeah.
That Donald Trump speaks to his wife in private the same way that he speaks to the American people. He
How do you know that?
Because they were
It's part of the
Part of the
documentary.
documentary was
Oh,
airing
okay.
her phone
Candid
calls,
footage.
right?
That was
And
a stupid question.
but the point is that he's not a good communicator, right?
No,
I don't
no, he's
believe that he
not.
is at all.
No, he's terrible.
But Teresa was.
Yeah.
And that's such a big bonus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we went right out of the gate with an issue that's incredibly controversial.
Mhm.
She didn't even waste time. She didn't even think about her
No,
answer.
she didn't.
That was, to me, that was very good to hear.
Yeah.
I think she's a good candidate, especially for Washington in its current state, I guess.
No pun intended. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? And you tell me, Tom, because you have experience with OSHA like I do. So what does that tell me probably about her? Is that she's a no nonsense, I'm going to tell you what I think and I'm going to mean what I say kind of person, right?
Right.
Like I'm speaking to you based on the directives, the rules, the statutes, everything that's in place. There's no ambiguity.
Right. So, but back to your previous example, right?
Mhm.
Single story building, 12-2 pitch.
Mhm.
You're not wearing a harness or a rope.
Mm-hmm. Here's your stop work order.
Like, what?
Yeah. And your $5,000 ticket.
Yeah. What? So that's where that line is, right?
Yeah, and
You know-
I understand. If I'm understanding you correctly, your concern is you want to make sure that she's not going to have that level of rigidity if elected to Congress. You want to know
Correct.
that she's willing to have the conversation.
Yeah. Someone needs, if you're going to represent the state or a portion of the state,
Well, she'd be representing the district
right
at the national
yeah
level.
yeah not the not the agenda of the Washington GOP,
right?
Because not everyone agrees with that. Just like with Randall, not the agenda of the Washington DOC or whatever the hell
Department of Corrections. It could be.
Yeah. No. It's a party I give zero shits about. So whatever. I mean, they've run the state into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: do you think she's what? Did you get the impression that she's running for the right reasons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
All it takes is one little thing that triggers someone to be like, okay, that's it. This has to stop.
And you're speaking from experience on that.
My gut tells me she's more common sense driven than agenda driven.
Yeah.
That's what my gut tells me.
Right. No, I got the same impression. All I meant by that was that you understand what it means to be driven to run.
Oh yeah,
that's my point.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's we've seen a lot of candidates come through here. We've seen candidates that have been what's the word I'm looking for? Where they get, somebody in the party goes out and reels them in, recruited.
Yeah.
We've seen people, we've seen candidates that have been recruited, usually not so good.
Right.
And then we've seen candidates that run for the reasons like Teresa stated. And those generally tend to be the candidates that are succinct in their messaging because they know what they feel, they know what they believe, and they're not afraid to say it. That was the impression that I got from her. She's still rough around the edges. She's brand new to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her rough around the edges is really not that rough.
Right.
I know. She's so well spoken.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, again, it goes back to that, that sense of confidence that she had. I mean, she didn't waver. She didn't. I don't think I heard her say once.
No,
that
was pleasure. That was nice to hear. We don't even do that. We try and we don't even do it.
Right. No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
She did a great job of knowing what she had to say when she had to say it.
Well,
and she wasn't reading her paper in front of her
Nope,
either.
nope.
She would occasionally look down, but it was like she was just picking up one word
Didn't-
and it spurred something and she just went with it.
I didn't see that she had any notes.
She did. She had some notes.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
That's well prepped. Good.
Yeah. 100%. And I guess I'll just leave it with this. I'm looking forward to having her on again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because I promise you, like with, not going to embarrass you, but like Alicia, the first time she was on,
That was horrible.
See, I didn't say
That was before my
but
time.
She was nervous. That's all I will say.
Okay.
It didn't help having somebody standing behind her telling her how she needed to dress, but she was nervous. Okay. It's okay, Alicia. You did great. And then, but by the second time she came on, she sounded like a freaking seasoned political pro.
Good.
So,
okay.
I don't think it takes too long, not for somebody that's taking running for office seriously. I don't think it takes them too long. By the time they're 12 interviews or conversations in, man, they get their platform down, right?
Yeah. Well, one of these days I'll have to pick your brain about that. Just the timeline of being
you thinking about running?
No, hell no.
Why not? Come on, Tom.
Hell no.
I mean, you're full of political opinions. Why not?
Yeah, I've got a closet full of skeletons too. There's no way I'd be a good candidate.
Tom, you have a graveyard, man.
that sounds so bad. I hate to interrupt, but we have someone joining the conversation.
We don't care. We've got no more guests.
Yeah, we're having a great conversation.
We welcome from the lovely land of San Diego, K-Dog.
So I can't hear.
Hi, Kev.
Oh, you blew
Good to
it.
hear that none of you miss me. Everybody doesn't want me to call now.
Oh, stop it.
It's fine. Whatever.
Kevin.
Just messing with you.
Kevin, how's my old
Whatever.
stomping grounds, buddy?
So listen, so I'm actually in Pacific Beach tonight, Tom. If you know where Pacific Beach is.
I do.
Yeah. So we slipped into this cool little place called the Hideaway, which is, I mean, a restaurant like this would go great in Kitsap if Washington didn't have such a regressive tax structure, whatever. And no, it's been great, man. It really has. This has been a great trip. We went to SeaWorld on Thursday and then Legoland on Friday.
How is
And,
Balboa Park?
I did not make it to Balboa Park.
Well, I mean, SeaWorld's adjacent to it. I mean, it's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous out there. We went out to Ocean Beach.
Yeah.
This evening. We were at another really cool lookout spot yesterday up by the University of San Diego State.
Yeah.
There's a spot on their campus which has a really nice overlook. So it's been great. The weather's down here has been phenomenal. It's been low 80s.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been good.
That sounds so nice.
Now, here's what I'll tell you though. You know, You need to be on your knees. What? Anyway,
What?
I said sun on my knees. You sick.
I thought you said you needed to be
perv.
on your knees. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? No, it's been great, but I will tell you that I'm using this trip as research. Because where California is now, Washington will be in about 9 months.
Hold it. Just a few moments ago, you were talking about something that made me go, "Oh, Washington's past California." I mean, I can't remember what the hell it
Gas
was.
taxes were high.
Oh, yeah,
The
gas.
regressive tech,
Yeah. No,
Right now, gas down here is $5.50, $5.60 a gallon.
It is here too.
Yeah.
Is it that high up there now?
I don't think it's that high. It's like
It is. I paid $5.60 a gallon at the Chevron over at Auto Center Way.
And
cheap gas. Okay, I'm not.
yeah, hey, I've been meaning to get one of my petroleum driven vehicles running again. They're both diesels.
Yeah.
And then I saw diesel today at $6 something a gallon, and I went,
now that sounds like California in the background.
It's a fire truck. Listen, a couple things that, because I've been paying attention on the socials to what's going on. So I don't know if you guys heard this or not. The Washington legislature on Friday introduced a bill that would waive 18, almost 19 cents of the gas tax until October in an attempt to hopefully curtail some of the gas price
Oh,
that we're seeing at the pump.
Thank you.
18 cents out of $1.63.
Fucking ass. Get back in
Well,
there
listen.
and do your job.
$1.63 in taxes per gallon.
Yeah, remember that $1.63 includes almost 20 cents of the federal gas tax as well. So
It doesn't fucking matter. None of that matters.
Look, I'm not going to derail you guys too much. I just want to say that I miss you guys. I thought about you all weekend.
You need a hobby then, bud.
Seriously, man, I didn't think about you once.
You know what, Beeler? Why don't you suck it? I'm going to go back and listen to the interview with Miss Fox. What did you guys think of her?
We liked
That's
her.
what we just talked about, bud.
Yeah, we liked
No,
her.
I didn't hear it.
Well, you
out
should
and
go
about.
back and watch
I know, but
it.
we can't go.
I'm going to.
We
I'm
literally
going to.
just talked about it, so we can't bore the listeners by going over it all again.
Just really quickly, Paul.
Really,
Mr. Difficulty. Really quickly, did you like her?
Oh, shut up, Mister. I'm on vacation enjoying 80-degree weather. Kiss my butt. Anyway,
yes, I personally, I
Tom hated her because she works for OSHA.
didn't hate her, you
Let me
jackass.
just say this. I ask a question, Paul pushes back, Beeler says nothing, but Tom, the good radio co-host that he is, actually answers the freaking question. So, Tom, I appreciate you and I love you very much. I'm going to get off the phone now and let you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
I
hope
honestly,
it rains the rest of your fucking trip.
Yeah. In answer
you guys
to your
need me bring anything
question,
back for you?
Yeah, sunshine.
No, I don't think TSA will let me. By the way, so when all the noise about flying out of SeaTac with TSA stuff, there's no issue at SeaTac. I got to SeaTac Wednesday afternoon and there were 6 people in line. Okay.
Wow.
However,
it was a
one
Wednesday.
of the state representatives shared a picture on socials today that popped up on my feed just because I'm down here. And the lines in San Diego are horrible.
Oh.
So I'm getting to the airport 3.5 hours early tomorrow for my flight because I just can't risk
Do
missing
they
my
not
flight.
have that thing like SeaTac has where you can do that
pre-board,
TSA check?
Pre-check has been shut down.
Oh.
No airports are pre-checking because of the
because
partial
of the
shutdown
shutdown. Okay.
So even though we're not seeing it at SeaTac, it sounds like we're seeing, all experience on the other way. So we'll talk about it next week. But I love you guys. Peace to all the listeners. Love you all. You guys want me to bring you back anything from San Diego besides sunshine?
Sunshine.
No, I do have to agree.
Good bottle of tequila.
Something cool that is Chargers-esque.
Charger, that they don't even acknowledge. There's nothing in San Diego about the Chargers, dude.
They're
they
bitter.
never even existed.
They're
they
bitter.
should be.
Can't blame them for being
should
bitter
be.
though.
No, I
can't blame
them at all.
Chargers fans for being bitter. Dude.
All right, I'm gonna go eat some wood-fired shrimp, and I will rub that in when I talk to you guys next week.
Hey, listen, no tequila. I don't want the worm in the tequila. Okay,
that's mezcal.
No.
Okay, don't get
That's
that.
mezcal. That's not tequila. Paul.
And before you leave San Diego, you have to have a good lingua burrito.
It has rice in it, and I don't do rice.
Oh, wait, a lingua
Kevin, can you bring me
burrito?
back some good tacos?
Sounds like a burrito made by an Italian.
No, lingua.
Oh, yeah,
lingua is beef tongue.
So my first night here, Beals, I had some amazing shrimp tacos.
Yeah.
Just amazing shrimp
So they were
tacos.
small
good,
ones?
yeah.
They were Trojo size?
Damn.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
They didn't speak ghetto slang. All right.
Oh,
guys.
neither's Trojo.
Oh, you haven't talked to him lately, Tom. He's really gone downhill.
Oh, I haven't talked to Trojo in a bit.
All he does is post on Facebook about how much he hates Trump.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Kevin's
Oh.
correct.
And
I don't like Trump either, but I don't think I have TDS.
You don't. It's
Well,
okay.
here's the deal, right? Like, you can hate him. Like, I love all these people that hate him so much, but he's so living rent free in their head because that's all they post about.
Right.
Like, do any of them think their lives would be much different if Trump was not the president? Like, I
No.
guarantee you, if you're living in East Bremerton, you're working your 9-to-5 job, you're supporting your family, raising your kids.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who the
going out with your
president
friends
is.
to the bar.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
Yeah, you're
There's
still
no
getting
difference.
fucked by the state.
Kevin,
So
but no king, Kevin, no king.
No king.
So,
well, we
hey-
haven't had a king since 1776. I'm not sure what the hell they're talking about.
Listen, Kevin, I got one question I want to ask you because I was going to ask these guys when we got done with this, but
Yes.
you called. Okay. So there's a post that's been going around by the Hodge twins. You know who the Hodge twins are, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they've been asking a question of the listener base and social media and stuff. If you knew when you went to vote last year that Trump was going to invade Iran, do you believe you still would have voted for him? So, like, if you knew that before, if he'd made that part of his campaign and said, "And I'm going to bomb the shit out of Iran," right? Would you have still voted for him?
Is that the only? Is that the only differentiating? Like,
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
considering anything else.
No,
just
that's correct. Just that.
Yes, I'm still voting for.
Okay, gotcha. And you can explain that if you want to expand on that. Great. If not, that's the question I'm asking Tom and the
again,
professor for that.
the larger question is, if I don't vote for him, I'm at least tacitly supporting Kamala Harris, who I
Right.
still think would have been a bigger dumpster fire.
The cackling hag, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and by the way, I don't know if you've seen the latest numbers coming out of the Dems, right? Right now, she's considered the front runner.
Ugh.
and she doesn't stand a snowball's chance in hell.
God.
Here's the problem,
You
right?
know what though? People are so fed up with Trump on that side though.
She doesn't stand a snowball's chance in hell.
Well, I think she stands a snowball's chance in hell of getting the nomination.
Oh,
Nomination,
I think that-
sure. The electorate, not a snowball's chance
I
in
don't know,
hell.
man. Listen, I'm not saying she'll win, but I'm not as positive as you are. If we make it through 4 years of noise with Trump, and it's 4 years of noise and chaos and elevated gas prices and all of that, it's going to be like the end of the Biden regime, right? Where people are just like, I just want change.
Yep.
You know, and any change will do. It won't be a show of support for Harris so much. It'll just be like it was for Biden. Like, God, we need something different.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But
Maybe.
to
I
answer
mean,
your question, Paul. Sorry, just to answer your question really quick, Paul. I just, if all I'm considering is that compared with what Harris would have done, it's still kind of a no-brainer. You know, everybody who's pissed off that Trump as president seems to forget what the flip side to this bizarro world argument that they're making would be.
Absolutely.
It's not like we'd be going back to a competent president that we knew that could handle things. We'd be going to Captain Word Salad herself. And I don't. There's very
We need to
few
trademark
scenarios.
that Captain Word Salad. We need to
Captain
trademark
Word Salad. Yeah, there's just no part of me that feels like, you know, as awful as he is on social media, as much as he runs his mouth, as nonsensical as he is, you know, I haven't even told, you and I haven't, you guys and I haven't talked about the situation on Iran, which I think is at risk of becoming a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Right. Because it feels like he thought they were just going to crumble in the days after the airstrikes, and that the people of Iran were going to raise up and take their country back, and neither one of those things have happened.
Well, and that I'm
You know,
actually admittedly surprised that hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I'm there with you.
I'm not surprised at all. I think that people in that country have been beat up and beat down for so long, they're just terrified to do anything.
Yeah, it's like Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not surprised that the people of Iran haven't risen up.
I think that's a fair opinion as well. I did think that they would, but I think that,
they've been beat down too long.
I think the gloves need to come off, and I think once those 10,000 Marines land on the shores of Iran, I think hopefully we'll be looking at a different picture.
But then what are we talking about, right? We're talking about ground troops, which is the one thing I didn't want, and it's the one thing I don't think most Americans want.
Nobody wants it. I don't think anybody wants it. I'm just saying
we can't afford it.
We've dispatched two amphibious Marine units, so that's 10,000 Marines.
Yeah.
And they're not sending those guys on those boats just for a vacation.
Yeah,
but Paul, is 10,000 enough? Like, let's be honest, right?
I mean,
if you're going to go into Iran, is 10,000 enough of a force to do it quickly? Because I don't think it is.
No, I don't think. Well, it's going to depend. It's going to depend on whether or not the people of Iran do raise up or not. I think the people of Iran raise up, but you've got to remember, there's an invasion. There's two other invasion forces coming into Iran right now at the same time. You got the Kurds. And one other organization, I can't remember who they are off the top of my head. I have to look it up. But the Kurds are invading from the north.
So I'd like to know why Saudi Arabia is not doing something.
In addition,
they're pumping oil.
In addition to those 10,000 Marines, I mean, if Israel's putting in some significant, something.
Yeah, Israel's continuing their air support. I could not see Israel. If Israel put boots on the ground in Iran, they would run the risk of the other Arab nations rising against them, I think.
You think so?
I just think it's a possibility. I don't know if it would happen, but I think it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that they consider. I mean, I'm not Jewish, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're very. I mean, you could be right, but
well, listen, the U.S. is going to have to do something, or this becomes Afghanistan, right? This becomes
Afghanistan, Iraq.
Yeah, this just becomes a truth right here. This just becomes a long-term like.
It does run that risk right now.
Bunch of craziness, right?
It does run the risk right now. Yeah.
And what I do not want is I don't want American boots on the ground. I just don't.
So, well, I think when you come back next Sunday, we'll talk about it. But I think that's something that needs to be extrapolated on. Like, what if you're okay with the attack? Why wouldn't you be okay with it's? I guess, and that's the double-edged sword that goes through my mind, right? Like, I was okay with the attack. And I was really hedging my bet on whether or not it's okay to put boots on the ground. But then I had to ask myself, well, if I was okay with the attack, that comes with it other potential things, right?
Okay.
So, I mean,
we will discuss that. Let's
discuss
that
next week. I know. Look, if you got to hawk her with her, if you didn't pay too much, good.
My shrimp just arrived. I got to go. Goodbye, you little bastards.
Jeremy's there with you? All right, well, have fun.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Enjoy your shrimp.
Asshole. Okay. So lovely always talking to you, Kevin. God, what a putz. Love the guy. But listen, every time he's on vacation, he calls in. And can I point out, he always does the same thing. He talks about how beautiful it is, the weather, all the fun things that he's done. I don't want to hear it. I don't get to do that shit. I'm jealous as hell.
Well,
I don't want to hear about how great of a time you're having in California.
I called in briefly when F-Bomb and I went to Vegas.
That's different. You know why it's different?
Why?
Because you don't do it 4 times a year and call in every time about it.
Oh. Yeah, no, that was the first vacation I've taken in.
That's right, man. And you needed to take that and enjoy that with your wife. But Kevin, every time Kevin goes on, Kevin's been posting on his social media for 3 weeks. I'm going here. I'm going here. News flash. I'm going to California. Okay, I love you, brother, but I don't need it rubbed into my face anymore. I just don't. I almost had to block him on social media because I didn't want to hear him brag about going on vacation. Anyway, I'm not bitter. Fucker's been promising me to take me to Vegas for years. Still never been.
You haven't been to Vegas?
No, I've been to Reno, but not to Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a chance to drive through Vegas, only didn't want to spend the extra 6 hours on the fucking road coming back from Texas.
Yeah. I mean,
didn't want to make that detour.
I don't know. Yeah. So if you go to Vegas, set aside. Okay, so I'll say it with the lens of having just been there.
So you're not going to say it through the lens of the LGBTQ community?
No. I'll say it through the lens of having just been there and assuming you're going to go within the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Set aside.
I'll go if Amber goes with me, but that's with one thing in mind. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you getting married again?
No, playing the slots.
Oh.
She loves playing the slots.
Don't play the slots. You're gonna lose your ass.
Wait. Are you saying people that play the slots lose?
Go down with about $250 to gamble and expect to lose it. Whatever. If you win, great. Otherwise, man, Vegas has changed a bunch from like the last time I was there. You know, prior to this last trip with Heather, because that was her first trip to Vegas also.
Yeah.
How fun to be with her during that.
Oh, it was so much fun.
That is so rad.
So you did this and you took your wife. It was her first time, and I've never been there.
Yeah.
Like, what's the one thing you got to do when it's your first trip?
Your first trip, go to Fremont. Right, go to Fremont Street.
Isn't that where all the freaky people hang out?
Yes, and
it is the coolest vibe, man.
Yeah, no, it's like it's great. It's great people watching.
Yeah,
you know,
Watching you do what?
No, you watch people.
What are you watching them doing?
Whatever.
The best.
It's some weird shit sometimes. But
I want you to both go back and listen to this segment on the show.
Yeah, no, I won't change my mind.
Tom's like, it's the best. She's like, they do everything.
No, dude, take the
English, Tom.
Relax the tighty whities and go down to Fremont Street.
Okay.
Enjoy Fremont Street.
I'm not riding on that freaking zip thing.
The zip line?
I don't know.
Dude, I would have done the zip line if I had the money for it, but it was $60 a person.
I'll do it
which
if
is a
I'm
little
drunk
much.
off my ass and throwing up over people as we're going over
dude,
the
that
top.
would have been so fun. Yeah, I would have totally done that.
I've only been to Fremont once in my 12 time to Vegas.
Oh, geez, you're missing out
I
because
know.
Fremont is like affordable entertainment,
Yeah,
right?
like,
it's
I
like
wanna
there's
explore it.
there's live music everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Cool. Also,
You know,
No, I don't gamble at all. I don't even buy lottery tickets.
Amber, do you like blackjack? Harrah's party pit down there. You can
okay,
buy
yeah.
You said Harrah's?
Harrah's, yeah.
Like the
Harrah's.
hotel.
Yeah.
Harrah's hotel.
Yeah.
They have a party pit, and you can high five the dealers and stuff. It was I
Yeah,
had so much fun there.
personally, I like the Texas Hold'em tournaments.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah, I'm
You
more
know.
just a regular 5-card.
Gambling is a sin.
Oh no, I'll go
No,
play
I'm kidding.
Texas
I'm just
Hold'em.
kidding.
but when I do, it's like I don't drink or anything. I mean, I'm serious about playing cards.
Oh god.
You know, so I drink coffee, and I'm
That's some hardcore shit, Tom.
yeah, no, I'm sharp and clear headed. You know, but I plan my poker.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, $250, no more than that.
Can't you lose that pretty quick though?
Not playing like a tournament.
Okay.
You know, because your tournament buy-in's like $100 or whatever.
Okay.
And then you sit down and you play cards for hours
I want to go
on $100.
See, if you go, you should
Mm-hmm.
totally do that race car experience. I want to do that.
The race car thing? Okay.
Yeah, the Grand Prix. So when we were
Drive
going
really
down the
fast.
strip and stuff, they were still finishing building that.
I'm just talking about where you can drive really fast.
Like where
on the
they
racetrack.
you rent a NASCAR car and you get to drive
Yeah.
the fast
Oh,
track.
okay.
to be NASCAR.
No, they were so Formula One was supposed to be in Vegas here recently. Like
were they?
this past September when
Oh,
F-Bomb and I went
yeah.
down, they were building the Formula One street track.
That's coming up, I think.
Yeah, there
the
were
Grand
parts of
Prix.
the strip and all that were closed off.
Well, I like the movie F1.
It's F1. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
no,
cool.
Formula One racing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I've heard through Gergen actually that the locals hate it because
Oh yeah, it was choking up all
Yeah.
kinds of parts of Las Vegas. Yeah, it was making a mess.
I think he was talking about that when he was here.
Yeah, when F-Bomb and I went down in September, it was like parts of the strip were, chain link fenced off, and Ubers and Lyfts
Right.
couldn't get here and there, and
Yeah.
we didn't give a shit. We were on vacation.
Now we have the
Walk,
self-driving.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hear
might
you.
get your steps in.
Right.
Cool.
Absolutely. Okay. So moving on, guys, let's get on to some of these national topics, huh?
All right, let's go.
All right.
Because you're driving the bus at this point.
Right.
Because one of the things we were talking about before you got here, was what are we talking about tonight?
So are you guys aware that James Comey has been subpoenaed? Subpoenaed.
Yes,
No,
I was aware
I
of
was
that.
unaware of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
What has he been subpoenaed over?
So that's the part I was trying to pull up here. Okay. So previously, Comey escaped his indictment when the judge said that the president had improperly nominated a U.S. attorney, the one that was going to bring up Comey on charges, right? So everything got dropped. Well, recently, the former FBI investigation director James Comey has been reportedly subpoenaed in the investigation into, quote, grand conspiracy against President Donald Trump. So now it's serious, right?
Okay.
The development was confirmed by two sources with knowledge of the situation who spoke to Axios. They're the ones that originally reported it. It was also reported by NBC News, which cited two sources as well. The grand conspiracy investigation is targeting top officials from the former Biden and Obama administrations, according to the sources, and has produced more than 130 subpoenas. So in a nutshell, what they're doing is, because we all know now, right, from the Mueller investigation, which is something his death we'll talk about in a minute. Okay. But through the Mueller investigation, what did we find out? We found out that the entire Trump-Russia collusion thing was an absolute hoax perpetrated by the Clinton campaign, and that it was paid for. I don't remember the names right now, but there was a particular law firm that paid another guy who was supposedly a bit of a spook, put it all together. They made it all up. And then it ended up ruining the first 2 years of Trump's first presidency because he spent that entire time not being able to do anything because of the constant accusations and defending himself against basically being a Russian lackey.
The divisive bullshit that we're living through.
Absolutely.
Now.
It was, I would say, and this is a significant comment to make, but I would say it was akin to a coup, sort of, in that it prevented him from doing his full duty to the United States citizens because he was having to spend far too much time defending himself. Against false accusations. Right? And these people knew what they were doing. They planned it in advance. And that's been well proven. So now all of the people that were, it was the Steele dossier. All of those people that were involved in that are now being taken to task. Right now, if you talk to a Democrat, they will tell you, oh, that's over with. It's water under the bridge. We shouldn't be wasting our time with that. Right. What I want to know from you guys is your thoughts. Are we wasting our time with that? Going back and actually having a case to go after and look at and get to the truth of those issues? Or is it a waste of American taxpayer time and money?
If there is some depth to what was behind Comey, then he absolutely should be gone after. I think if there is something behind it, if this is just a political tool to go after somebody who smited you in some way, then it's bullshit.
Sure. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Tom, what are your thoughts? And I can read you this little bit here. The grand conspiracy, I told you this, it's targeting officials from the former Biden. Okay, the subpoena against Comey reportedly relates to the infamous intelligence community assessment about Russian election interference that was sent in January 2017.
I'm so tired of Russian interference.
Well, and that's what this is about, right?
Yeah.
Because it was that, quote, intelligence brief where Comey laid out to Biden, or laid out to Obama and others, hey, the Russians are backing Trump and they're going to help him steal, or they helped him steal the election, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, they knew it was all, they knew at that time when they presented that information to the President Obama, who then, because he was the president, basically said to them, okay, you have my full power and authority to investigate all of these people in the new incoming Trump administration, which is why within a month of getting into office, the FBI and the CIA had trapped his new, God, I can't remember the guy's name now, but the new incoming Secretary of Defense, right? He resigned after a month, right? And they basically cornered a lot of officials. You remember in his first administration, right out the bat in the first 6 months, he had like 90 people resign. And a lot of that had to do with these investigations, pressure that was put on them. Because remember, if you're working for the President of the United States, okay, and let's say you're a guy that makes $150,000 a year, and the FBI comes to you and says, we're going to file charges against you because you spoke to this person and it turned out this person was a Russian agent.
Right.
That'll scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And because you're paying for that, those lawyers out of your pocket. There's no, legal defense fund because you work in the White House, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people were pushed into positions where they had to resign.
Right.
And it was a real shitty situation. So no one is above the law. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, we should talk about her at some point, said in a statement following the indictment, today's indictment reflects this Department of Justice commitment to holding those who abuse positions of power accountable for misleading the American people. We will follow the facts in this case. That was dismissed after a judge found in November 2025 that Trump had improperly. Okay, so this is going back to the issue. Comey was already indicted for this once before, and the charges were dropped because the attorney that filed the charges against Comey was improperly appointed.
Oh,
Okay.
Then he should be tried again.
Yeah. Well, and he wasn't even tried before. It never went anywhere because
Yeah, then he
it was an
should.
improper opponent. Yeah.
Right. And you can't do try it again because of
Right.
double jeopardy.
That's
right. But if it never came to
went there.
fruition, then just finish the process. So
That happens all the time. I mean,
right.
that's not really that big of a deal.
So here's my take on the whole thing. Accountability seems to be in short supply these days, and it doesn't really matter who we're talking about.
Well, I think you're spot on with that.
Yeah.
Just that statement alone.
Yeah. I would like to see people held accountable for their actions. I don't care what side of the fence they're on. I don't care if there's an R or a D or an I or whatever. No one's held accountable for their bullshit anymore.
Well, are you?
Nobody's getting punched in their jaw anymore.
No, it's like
nobody's getting punched in the throat.
No, I mean, hey, a throat punch. I mean, maybe that's day 2, right? I mean, break the jaw first.
Well, Comey did one more thing, and I think that this has kind of made it a little bit personal for the president. Tell me if you guys remember this.
Okay.
Comey took a snapshot, picture, and posted it to social media. And it was a bunch of seashells laid out into a pattern on the beach. That's all the picture was. Do you remember what the seashells spelled out?
I don't remember any.
I believe
SOS.
No, it was the 4-digit code for murder.
Oh yeah, I do remember that shit. That
Yeah.
was what was that?
Yeah, and so the contention is being because at that time there were some high-profile people that had did it, and they were very clear that they did it in reference to Donald Trump, and it happened right after the assassin tried to kill him in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And so a bunch of people were pointing out to the fact that Comey was sending a message, that not even thinly veiled, right? Just out there saying like somebody killed Trump, right? Which I
mean, do you really get from there to there? I mean,
that's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you. If because of all the issues that was going on with Comey and Trump, and clearly, like if you read Comey's memoir or watched the documentary that was made about him,
I don't want to watch that bullshit.
Well,
Can't stand
I'm a
that
geek.
guy.
I'm a geek for that stuff. But anyway, so Comey very clearly walked into his first meeting with Trump hoping to set him up. In fact, he specifically stated because remember, he was playing off of this whole Trump colluded with Russia to win the election. Yeah. So the first time he went in to meet with Trump, he was looking to set him up on day one. And there was a lot more going on behind the scenes than I think any of us will ever be aware of. But there was clearly a sharp axe to grind that Comey had against Trump, and they were looking to bring him down.
Yeah.
And I think that those inside text messages from the FBI, those high-ranking FBI individuals, was pretty clear about that they had a backup plan and they weren't going to let him be president. Yeah. Well, their backup plan failed. But in my opinion, what they were doing, whoever was involved, that was effectively an attempt at a coup. I felt that's my opinion on it, which is why I think they do need to prosecute this. I don't think they need to prosecute it in order to do what was done to Donald Trump, which was mess somebody up so bad for a long period of time in the legal system that their political career is screwed. I don't think that's what needs to happen. If there's no evidence, then let them go, be done with it. But if they were truly involved with a grand conspiracy to do what it looks like they were trying to do, then I support the prosecution.
Has he already gone to the grand jury?
No, he was just subpoenaed.
Did he go the first time? Did he go through a grand jury?
No,
So,
because it was
this could be a nothing burger.
It could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, but it could be.
Okay, well, yeah.
I mean, it's listen, we all know about the whole Russian collusion thing and how it was absolutely made up. So if they did that with intent, Professor,
yeah,
right? To me, what would the intent of that have been? The intent of that would have been to replace the president of the United States, the man who was duly elected to the position. Their claim was he wasn't duly elected, so they used underhanded methods to try to remove him.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. Go ahead, Tom.
But underhanded methods aren't necessary when someone isn't duly elected by law.
Underhanded methods aren't necessary. Well, right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
if there's an election to the letter of the law,
yeah,
then it just stands.
That's right. Agreed.
Yeah. I mean,
agreed. Well, listen, even now we know, and listen, this is why I'm really big on the SAVE Act and it being passed, because we now that the 2020 election, those irregularities that we sensed, that we saw on election night, that there were issues. Now we find out that in point of fact, there were some really big fucking issues. And people on the Democrat side all go back to the same. There was no case where they were found, blah, 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 right? Well, none of it ever went to trial, right? Because of what? Because nobody had standing, right?
Yeah.
You go to a little county in Pennsylvania, well, who has standing here, right? That's a big issue in our legal system. Standing is huge. In fact, it's one of probably the top 3 issues of any lawsuit that's filed. And if you, I don't have time to explain standing right now. Look it up, folks. You got Google, use it. It's just an important legal precedent.
Right.
It's very important in common law. We just found out recently, just this year, and it's 2026, right? That indeed the shit that was going on down in Georgia was exactly what we thought it was, right?
Right.
There are hundreds of thousands of votes that are jacked in Georgia from the 2020 election.
Yeah, Georgia,
and it was only 11,000 short.
Right. Yeah, Georgia should examine their voting system.
They are, and apparently there were
they
issues
should.
with Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State there, and everything else. So we could go really deep into this. We're not going to, but I just, if you're not bright enough to see the issues that we're all pointing to surrounding our elections, and do we have to look past the recent reports that have come up about California, right? And we know that the same thing happened here in Washington State with people. Glenn Morgan's report was phenomenal, right? And to me, Glenn Morgan's report was a smoking gun, and why more didn't happen over that is beyond me. I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
Because he had that young lady that said live on film that she went to homeless camps, registered people that were homeless to vote, had the votes, had all of them go to local churches, where then she and somebody else picked up those ballots.
Right. Well, but they're legally allowed to do that under Washington state law.
But not fill them out and turn them in.
Well, that is true.
Yeah. So,
If that is in fact.
but and then apparently Glenn was unable to locate that lady ever again.
Yeah.
But that, you know, I might not wanted to scream over that. Like, that's a smoking gun, you know? And that happened, what, 8 years ago? Something like that, 6 years ago. And in Bremerton and in Olympia. So we know what's going on. Remember, it's not what we know, though. It's
what you can prove.
Yeah. So anyway, I think this stuff is really starting to blow up, especially with citizen journalists, the way smartphones are getting to people. I mean, people are gaining more and more courage with getting out into the open, right? With their cell phone and their camera running and asking questions. And I think that's exactly what it's going to take to turn the tide. I don't care if a Democrat wins. I really don't.
No, as long as there's some common sense involved.
I want the elections fair.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to see a person like Pramila Jayapal or
Sharma Sawant.
Sharma Sawant. Huh?
I can never say her name.
Pramila Jayapal.
Yeah, I just call her a papaya pal.
But you guys know what I'm saying, right? The same thing happened with Christine Gregoire. All of a sudden, there's a tied election, and magically ballots show up in we found this one. Really?
Here's another box.
Yeah. Where did you find that one, and why is it 15-1 in favor of one party?
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, do you guys want to hear my favorite comment in chat right now?
Yes.
Please do.
Okay.
What is
it? It's in reference to our recent loss of one Chuck Norris.
Aww.
Yeah.
So sad.
When Chuck Norris attended a feminist rally, he came back with his shirt ironed and a sandwich.
Hell yeah, he did.
Okay, that's funny.
I'm sorry. That's my favorite comment in the chat right now.
But that's
Love
funny. I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. I'm absolutely loving that.
It's hilarious.
So I'm going to ask you guys the question that I asked Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay, about Iran.
Mhm.
That was being put forth by
Wait, aren't we
the
on
twins.
break soon? Yeah.
Then, well, yeah,
In like 3 minutes.
We got enough time for you guys to answer
Alright,
this question. Okay.
Oh,
So I want to.
is it going to lead us into the last hour?
And yeah.
Okay.
God damn it, Tom! You spend more time
Hey,
questioning me about.
listen.
No, I'm going to
No.
tell you something. Tom. Okay, go ahead. Anyway, here's the question. I'll start with you, Alicia, because you voted for Donald Trump. Am I correct? Okay. I don't want to assume that Tom did. I don't know. I've never asked him. But if you knew,
I've talked about it.
That the president, Tom, roll with me.
Oh, sorry,
Beeler.
Yeah.
If you knew that Donald Trump was going to attack and start a war with Iran, would you have still voted for him if you'd known that on the day that you voted?
Yes.
Okay. Can you expand on that a little bit? Like, are you okay with this? How do you feel about it?
When it comes to foreign policy in this country, it is the job of the president to make those decisions with the backup of the Senate. So, or Congress. I think he knows something that we don't.
I think that's
I say that a lot, but there's a lot that we are not privy to that people that are in power are privy to.
I think that's a
And
wonderful point.
if we're going to elect them to lead us,
Mhm.
then we have to let them lead.
I got you. I'm there with you. Tom, say you what?
Well,
First of all, I don't know if you voted for Donald Trump or not.
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also did not vote for Kamala Harris.
No, he voted for the libertarian.
I voted for Chase Oliver.
But that's okay. You're true to your conviction.
Yeah, we interviewed Chase Oliver on our show. I mean,
right. But I needed to set up my question about
go
if
for
you
it.
would still vote for Trump.
Yeah. So,
so
because I didn't,
Right.
how do you want me to approach that?
I just want to know what you think about the fact that we are in a war now with Iran. Let me actually rephrase it
Are
this
we
way.
actually on a war?
I was gonna.
Well,
that was
we're
the
not at
first
a
thing I was
picnic,
going to approach. Was like, I don't even think we're in a war right now.
You really? You don't?
skirmish.
You too? I like. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you what you two are saying, because I can see the frame of reference, right? The idea of a war, Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam.
Yeah, we're
right?
not full blown.
Right. I mean,
So
this could be the first steps of one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Congress would need to, for us to technically be at war, for us to be involved in a military action, we have 60 days plus 90 days as part of the War Powers Act, right? Before the president needs a declaration from Congress.
Right.
Now,
But now,
Go ahead.
I mean, my pushback on that is I don't know what kind of congressional cooperation there was in Korea.
There wasn't.
Or Vietnam.
There wasn't.
Or
Last time we declared war was World War II.
Desert
So,
Storm.
Yeah. So we're gonna,
or Iraq.
Yes,
Or Afghanistan.
Okay, we're going to break.
Yeah.
I get your point. So when we get back, we're going to wrap that and we're going to go into Joe Kent, right? Because you brought the point up. There are things the government knows that we don't. So we're going to talk about Joe Kent when we come back from break. Outlaw Radio Network. Stay with us, guys.
Say about Joe
Yeah,
Kent.
we're going to appreciate it. We're going to draw their opinions right out of them. Love you guys. Stay with us.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network, powered by our friends at Destination Highway 420, Kitsap County's premier stop for premium selection. Find your destination today, 21 and over.
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Rain Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Rain Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Rain Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager fell victim to fake pills. Smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Where are these pills coming from, and how are kids getting them? Right from under our noses, crooks are targeting kids on social media and selling them counterfeit pills that could seal their fate with the click of a button. It may seem harmless, maybe it doesn't even seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. So before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that many fake pills contain fentanyl, and an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal? Listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I
Paul,
have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. just mansplained.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network Sunday night at their new time from 6 to 10.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance, Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
This episode of the Outlaw Radio Network is brought to you by Destination Highway 420 in Bremerton. Looking for a knowledgeable cannabis shop with a great local vibe? Destination Highway 420 offers a wide selection of Washington State cannabis products, including flower, pre-rolls, edibles, and concentrate from trusted producers across the state. Their friendly staff can help you find exactly what you're looking for in a relaxed, welcoming environment. Visit Destination Highway 420 at 1225 Hollis Street in Bremerton. Must be 21 or older with valid ID.
The older people, I know you're getting a little edgy right now, but you better get...
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Another teenager fell victim to fake pills. Smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Where are these pills coming from, and how are kids getting them? Right from under our noses, crooks are targeting kids on social media and selling them counterfeit pills that could seal their fate with a click of a button. It may seem harmless, maybe it doesn't even seem like a drug deal, but it definitely is. So before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be that easy? Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that many fake pills contain fentanyl? And an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. Listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real. Brought to you by USPTO and the National Crime Prevention Council.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I
Paul,
have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplained.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network Sunday night at their new time from 6 to 10.
Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance, Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
This episode of the Outlaw Radio Network is brought to you by Destination Highway 420 in Bremerton. Looking for a knowledgeable cannabis shop with a great local vibe? Destination Highway 420 offers a wide selection of Washington State cannabis products, including flower, pre-rolls, edibles, and concentrate from trusted producers across the state. Their friendly staff can help you find exactly what you're looking for in a relaxed, welcoming environment. Visit Destination Highway 420 at 1225 Hollis Street in Bremerton. Must be 21 or older with valid ID.
The older people, I know you're getting a little edgy right now, but you better get into me because I don't want to bum you out, but I'm the future of America.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.
It's kind of stony, huh?
It's the real thing. A radio signal from another world.
The United States government presents the Outlaw Radio Network. Outlaw Radio Network.
To provide guidance to mankind.
Okay, listen, things are taking a real serious turn here. Okay,
Okay.
we're talking about war,
Yeah.
and all the rest of that stuff.
Sorry.
So now we're going to take kind of a more humorous, lighthearted side of things. Okay, we're
yeah.
going to talk about Joe Kent.
Joking. You done?
Tom.
Are you done?
What? You said lighthearted and humorous.
All right. Okay. So we were talking about how everybody felt about, Trump, Iran, the battle and all that other stuff. And let me, before we get into the Joe Kent thing, I just wanted to follow up with a couple more quick questions if you guys are okay with that.
Mhm. Go.
And I'm going there anyway, even if you're not okay with it.
Yeah.
you brought up the point, both of you did kind of, that, well, we don't even know if we're really in a war right now. I think that's a fair question to ask.
Right.
So first, let me ask, in order to win it, should we be willing to do whatever is necessary to win it? Beeler?
Not whatever is necessary. No, there's no absolute when it comes to anything.
Okay.
Um,
Now, as a history professor, we've seen what the United States has been willing to do to end wars before.
I know.
Okay. So
I mean,
how far do you think
Trump
we
just
should?
cracked a joke about that
Dude,
at the press conference.
We'll get to that one.
What?
Yeah. In fact, thank you for reminding me. I'm going to find that and send that to Dennis, because that was too. That's well, we're going to get to that.
I just have some couth, man.
I guess I missed something.
But I get.
Yeah, we're going to play it.
Yeah.
You're going to.
Okay.
Just we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We'll get there.
It'll be a surprise.
Yep. It
So,
will.
Okay.
yeah. I don't think we should do whatever is necessary. We have to have a humanitarian standpoint. If we're going in there for humanitarian reasons, we have to have those same humanitarian values with the Iranian people.
I do not disagree.
So
Well,
Go ahead, Tom. Let it flow.
My first question is
Let it flow.
Yeah, like Desert Storm, weapons mass destruction.
Yes, Tegan, you are supposed to hear us.
Yeah.
If you can't hear me, say something.
yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
But that was before.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay.
Tegan had just posted, are we supposed to hear you? Well, I hope so. It's a show.
Well, there was a section there where they couldn't. So
Yeah, understood.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Tom.
We do have tech issues.
We do. We have those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we have issues. The tech is just fine when we put it together. Right?
That's fair.
Or if I know how to use it, like plugging my
Need a
microphone in.
millennial in here.
Do we?
So we can blame them for
I mean,
everything.
aren't they good with this kind of stuff?
We'll just toss them some Tide Pods.
50-50.
Do you want a snack?
Yeah.
Good point.
Like,
Goofy, do you want a snack?
half of them are still living in mom and dad's basement, and the other half are
Maybe Gen Z
doing
then.
something. Oh.
They're hard workers, man.
Dude, they're the first generation, statistics have shown, are going to graduate from high school dumber than their parents.
Really?
Yeah, that's a
Well,
crazy
they, they can work hard. I'll tell you that.
Gen Z's giving me pause.
Wait, which one is after millennial?
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Okay, that's what I'm talking
Yeah, and then Gen Z's kids, because the eldest Gen Z's are old enough to be family.
Well, 8 to 80, blind, dumb, and crazy, bud.
Yeah. So the one after Gen Z is Gen Alpha, and how the hell we ended up there as a label, I have no idea.
I don't know, but I hope we get a lot of alphas out of it.
We need them. I mean, we need them because the United States is.
She snorted.
I like the big geopolitical picture.
Yeah.
And the United States
Right.
is hitting their baby bust.
Yeah, we are. Yep.
Oh, you got that right? Okay. All right.
Good
Awesome.
job. Okay, here we
Awesome.
go.
Well, we weren't. We're not.
Oh, we're still talking about the other thing.
We're going to get to that though in just a minute. So, sorry. Where we are at in the war right now?
Yeah.
So ultimately, Professor, how far do you think we should go to win it versus how far we shouldn't go?
I think if we stick by our moral fortitudes, then we're not going to cross a line that we shouldn't be crossing.
Okay, but what is that line?
I mean, is that for me to decide?
I think
guess?
yes, I do think that as an American, your opinion is valid.
I think that we should go in there, and I think we're righting some wrongs already, right? Didn't they? They took out the leader.
And then the
leader
second
that we instilled.
and then the second string leader, and then the third string leadership.
I think it depends on your opinion of the whole situation.
I mean, I
want you to go on the record and tell people how far they should go. In the professor's opinion, how far do you think we should go? Because I'm going to give my opinion on it. Tom's going to give his, and we're not singling you out.
okay. I'm gonna say it like this. I don't think we should get to the point where we have to take it to Congress.
So you think we should
They
win
need to
within 90
go
days?
in and they need to take care of what needs to be taken care of.
So, but how far should they? So to do that, though, they have to remove
Well, I
the
don't think we
ruling
should
leadership council, and
Right.
they may have to put boots on the ground to do that.
Well, if they can,
So you're
get it-
okay with that?
I think that
For those that couldn't hear, she
if
shook her
it's
head once.
that important that it gets done, obviously they know something we don't, then yes,
Okay,
it should be getting
I think
done.
you just brought up a really wonderful point too. Okay, Tom. Give us your thoughts. As a libertarian, you are allowed to think for yourself.
Yeah. Oh no. These are Tom's thoughts.
Good, Tom. Good, Tom.
These are Alicia's thoughts too. I'm not speaking for anybody but myself. Let's
That's
make
okay.
that clear.
But you brought up an interesting point, and we're gonna double back to it in a second. Go ahead.
Okay. So I have a couple of opinions here. I think the first one that I want to be taken really seriously is we don't need to be in the Middle East right now.
Okay, but we are.
We are. Right. But first and foremost, I don't think we need to be in the Middle
Dude,
East. Right
we all get your isolationist policies. I'm not faulting you for them. I think they're realistic. However, we are in a conflict.
I
and
wouldn't
I'm asking
call
you
us
about what it takes to end that conflict.
I wouldn't call it isolationist. But first and foremost, I don't think we should be in the Middle East at all.
Brother, we know. This is the
And-
third time you've gone
Yeah.
back to that.
No, but it's important because my other opinion about how we behave militarily, when was the last war we won?
Well, I think that's a matter of debate.
That's valid.
Right.
Tom.
Because
But
you
when
can-
is the last war we won?
Definitively. World
well,
War II.
again,
World War II.
World
Thank
War
you.
Not even no. But
Well,
look, I'm disagreeing with the history professor here, but that's okay.
I'm not a history professor.
Well,
World War II.
You're close.
On paper, we won World War II.
Well, the Russians could say that they won it, but
But
Are
we
you
were
seriously arguing
allied.
this right
Yeah, we were sort of loosely allied with Russia.
Look, we all get a gold star, okay?
Right.
No, you get a gold star when your child dies in combat.
Stop.
I'm
That is
just-
not what I meant.
but-
Why'd you turn that so dark?
Because you said it.
I was talking about the gold star your teacher gives you when you get 100%, man.
How does that even compare?
Why?
Anyway, okay, sorry. See what you oh, no wonder Kevin can't keep his shit straight in his chair. Okay, Tom, go ahead. Speak, Tom. Speak.
Back to my question.
Yeah.
What was the last war we won?
I would say that we won Iraq. I would say that
We did not win Iraq.
No.
Okay, but that's a point of conjecture, isn't it?
We did not win in Iraq. We had to go back. We did not win in Iraq.
Okay, son, listen. First of all, in 1991, we wiped our asses with the Iraqi army like
In
they were
6
shitty
days.
toilet paper.
Yes, we did.
Okay,
In
thank
6
you.
days.
Thank you. That was my generation, bitch. So y'all could sit down and shut
that
up.
was
Now,
our generation.
well, it was, yes. I agree.
God, you guys are
now,
will you just
now
quit arguing about
hold on. After 2001, you could say Afghanistan was a war, Iraq was a war, or you could say the war on terror was a war, right? This is why I'm saying these are all opinions,
right?
I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong unless you disagree with me. So, is it a war on terror, or was it Afghanistan was a war, Iraq was a war, ISIS was a war? Like, you have to break all of those down separately if you want to say how many wars did we win.
Not really.
Not really
Because
what?
You don't need to, you don't have to break them all down separately.
I do.
because
I'm analytical as shit like that.
Okay, because if it's a war on terror,
Mhm.
we haven't won.
Okay. Do you think that war is still ongoing?
Yes.
I think you're high, but go on.
We
Keep going.
haven't won.
Keep going.
If we had won, we wouldn't have had to go into Iran because the war on terror is done.
So-
but we already know Iran's a proxy state for a terrorist organization.
No, Iran's not a proxy state. Iran
I'm
uses
sorry,
proxies.
You mean
Okay.
what I know.
How much of that did you smoke? Anyway, go on.
So no, I mean seriously, right? If the war on terror is over, then this action in Iran is
Well, and I'm not saying the war on terror is over. I'm just saying
Okay, then-
you asked
then-
the question, how many wars have we won? And you said World War II was the last one that we won.
Yes.
I'm just disagreeing with you in principle because I don't necessarily agree with that. But let's move on.
But-
Let's move past that. Don't
So,
get fixated on it.
Okay, but it's relevant to the question, right? Because how did we win World War II?
Nukes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In the Pacific theater. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh,
And in the European theater, how did we win World War II?
Brute force.
Brute force.
Yep.
We didn't do that in Korea. We
No.
didn't do that in Vietnam.
nope.
We didn't do that in Iraq.
So-
we didn't do that in Afghanistan.
Well, here's
that's
what I mean.
Those were policing.
how you've wrapped that up. I just that's why I said that's too
to-
broad.
Listen,
because
that's how you win a war. The
To win
greatest
a war-
generation.
to win a war,
Mhm.
you beat the opponent until
you
they
make the
don't-
component capitulate
until they
and to
don't
see the
get back
lamentation
up.
of the women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
Hitler
beat
was
the opponent
dead.
until they don't get back up.
Depends.
And we have not done that since World War II.
Listen,
We have not.
Sun Tzu said, right, that treat your enemy like a fire.
Yeah.
Put out the last ember, right?
Yeah.
Today, with that mindset, you'd be labeled a war criminal.
You can't
right?
fight like that
right.
today.
So we can't fight that way. We know that culturally, societally, we can't do that.
So don't fight.
Doesn't work. That's not the world we live in, though, right?
But
I don't
that's the
disagree with you. I
that's
don't
the-
disagree with you.
But that's the point of the world that we live in now. The point of the world we live in now is you shouldn't have to fight. That's why you're not supposed to fight like that anymore.
I love how you think. It's just not. It's not real life.
No, it's not. I agree with you.
Okay.
Which is why I'm saying, one,
Mm-hmm.
we shouldn't be fighting there, period. Two, if we're going to fight there, you fight like we did in World War II.
Okay. Gloves off. So
Knock
we're
the shit out of it.
we're in the fight
There's
with
no
Iran.
such thing as a military target.
Mhm.
There's just a target.
Hmm.
Carpet bomb the cities. I mean, that's what we did in World
Fucking,
War
he's much
II.
more militant than I thought he was.
Yeah,
man.
he
I
really
didn't
No,
care
I
for that
mean,
shit
if
at all,
you're
man.
gonna do
you're
it-
brutal.
Don't fuck with Tom, you guys.
No
No,
kidding.
if you're
Do
going to
not.
do it,
Fucking spike your whiskey and
do
shit.
it.
He's like,
Right?
Tom, you killed 32 kids in a
start
preschool.
blocking
He's
my
like, don't care. They
window.
were in the
Don't
way.
care. If you're going to fight a war, fight the war.
Okay.
But we shouldn't be fighting that war.
Okay. Okay.
That's
but you can't.
why I keep saying that.
But you be okay. Tom be like, I understand that we have to nuke the comet coming towards Earth, but that will irradiate the Earth when all the little pieces of the comet hit. But Tom, there's a comet coming. I know. So we should nuke it. But if we nuke it, we're going to kill everybody else on Earth. Like it's like a circular firing squad.
No, okay, back
Or
to what you-
Polish.
Yeah, back to what you were just using as the example, an asteroid coming to Earth.
Uh-huh.
Right. So if your solution to the asteroid coming at Earth is still 100% fatal, why waste your time, man?
Okay, but we're
Fire
talking
up
about
the
war here, Tom.
barbecue and
Okay.
have a drink and enjoy your last minutes.
By the way,
So-
Black Ring Spirits sponsor this show. Come down there, buy them out. Why not? There's an asteroid coming.
There you go. So
It's called Apophis. It'll be here in time. I'm sorry, keep going.
So I mean, back to the war thing. If you're gonna have a war, if you're gonna fight to win.
Okay, so we're in a war. So you're saying we
We're
need
not
to
in a
fight to
war
win.
yet.
Jesus Christ.
I really don't think we're in a war yet. We don't have boots on the ground.
We're not at war.
I mean,
yet. I agree with you, Tom.
Well, what is it? A picnic? Like, if you guys don't think this is a war, and that's fair if that's your opinion,
Back.
There has been no declaration.
that doesn't.
Have
Was
they-
Vietnam not a war? Was
No,
Korea not a
Korea
war?
was not a war.
Don't tell me
Vietnam
that shit
not
was a
war.
police action, because there's a lot of dead people that would disagree with that.
But
Just
they were
because
not
people
wars.
die does not make it war, bro.
Well, oh my God.
That is not the factor that makes it war.
It wasn't a war.
I freely apologize for my co-host and their lack of ability to understand the difference between fucking war and whatever the hell they think this is. So what is it that you guys think this is?
Yeah.
What is it that what is it that you think
It
this
doesn't
is?
have to be a war to be a fight.
Okay, what is it?
It's
Label
a
it.
Fight. It's a fight.
This is like
It's a
JFK going
military
into
action.
Cuba. Okay, that's what this
No, that
is.
was really bad. That was really bad.
It's a military action, but that doesn't make it a war.
Yeah,
Just a military action.
that's exactly it.
Okay. So military action plus people dying on both sides
Yeah.
just equals a military action.
What was Venezuela a war?
No.
Same thing happened there.
No, it
Same-
didn't. It did. None
I
of
mean,
our,
we didn't really go in.
I mean, we didn't stay.
It's
and-
not that. Right now. It's not that different.
Mhm.
We don't have anyone there really.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, when we drop those two divisions of Marines, 10,000 Marines, and now we have people there.
Is then it a war? Is that what it takes for you to declare it a war? We have to have boots on the ground?
All this talk about boots on
That's probably
Uh-huh.
one of the defining factors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm trying to draw out of you, Tom. Well done.
We have to like make some efforts towards occupation.
Okay.
Then we're getting closer to a war.
Okay. So Tom believes we should occupy Iran. Okay.
No, because what was it,
you
two
want a
or-
war. You said we have to go all in to win the war.
Where did this echo come from?
You have an echo?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tom wanted to make sure
was like-
you were not just heard, you were remembered.
No, I said 2 or 3 times before I took this stance, we should not be there. I don't want a war. There's no reason for us to be there right now.
Okay.
So if we're going to stomp the shit out of someone like that, it's because we have to hold them accountable for behavior. And
well, 47 years of warlike behavior. Well, not in your definition. Would you consider? So they just voted recently on whether or not to declare Iran once again, the largest state sponsor of terror, right? Which our local representative voted against.
It's pretty evident that they are.
Agreed.
So I mean,
it's self-evident.
Yeah, the silly shit that comes out of proclamations like that is just silly shit.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But I'm trying. I think this is good because we're quantifying how you and the professor feel about this. So neither one of you agrees that we are at war right now.
No.
Okay.
No, we're not.
Okay. So how far should we go to either declare victory, or should we just bitch slap them back to the last century and call it good?
I've already stated that.
Yeah,
I
we've already
mean, first
answered
and
that.
foremost, we shouldn't be there. We should not be there. But if we're going to be there, fucking get in there.
Balls to the wall, baby.
Right? It's leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Right? And if you mess with me, when I retaliate, it's gonna hurt. That's the way it should be.
Okay, so your position on what is occurring right now is what? Should we?
We shouldn't be in Iran.
We have no reason to be there.
That was awesome.
We have no reason to be in Iran. They have done nothing to us.
Okay, I get that, but we are.
We
there.
don't, but there's stuff we
are
don't
there.
know. But there's
Yeah.
stuff we don't
Okay,
know.
I mean,
we already agreed on that.
So if we're there, if we're there, we carpet bomb them. Back to the Stone Age.
Back to the Stone Age. I think it's. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. He'll unmute me. That's fine.
He's muted. He's muted.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. Then I think we're at a dead end here with you, Tom. I'm not saying that in a weird way. I get your point. I get your position. I just can't overcome it.
But
I get it, Tom.
Cut and dry.
Well, okay.
I mean, it really is. We shouldn't be there because we don't have a fight with Iran.
He's the worst type of
don't
student for
know
a college
that,
professor.
is my point.
Yeah, and that
We
was
don't know what they know.
General knowledge of the American public
is not
in
the
the
knowledge.
dark,
It's not. Yeah,
man.
we are in the dark.
No,
we don't know.
Most of people,
No,
most of humanity are
because the representation of Congress should be that of the American people.
but it's not.
Oh,
Well, and we're
But
not.
that's what
We're
it should
not.
be, right?
But no.
Isn't that how
we're-
the system was designed?
No,
it
we're.
was never a two-party system.
So she. Well,
I
now
never
you're going down a
mentioned
whole new road.
I never mentioned parties.
Well, then if it wasn't a party
represent-
system, then it would
Congress-
be made up.
Okay.
Congress
Okay.
is
Time out.
supposed to
Time out.
represent-
Time out. Time out.
No,
Yeah.
I see where she's going.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Time out. I don't know where she went into the whole two-party system thing.
No,
I don't know what that
I
has to
do.
do with war. But I'm gonna.
We
No.
figured it out.
No.
We
I
figured it out.
I
That's
know
great
exactly
relationship advice for those listening. Here. So you brought up a good point earlier when you said that there are things the government knows that we don't, and I think that's a super important point that most people don't take into consideration, right? And those things that they know, right? They can't make public to us because it does what? It gives away intelligence collection procedures and other things, right? They can't just come out and say, well, we know that, Iran has 63% capacity to refine nuclear power, right? Because if they know that, then that gives out that there's somebody on the inside providing it. Anyway, there's all kinds of reasons why they can't give out the information. You just switch it over when you're ready, Dennis.
You're ready.
Okay. So
You don't need to, buddy.
test. Okay.
Yeah, you're there.
Look, man, I'm just making sure. Otherwise, I'm standing there talking into the nether like it's no big deal. So, does the point that I'm making make sense? Say yes, please. Just say yes.
Sure, Paul. It makes
Okay.
total sense.
Okay.
Thank
So
you
there
so
are
much
things. There
for
are things that
making
we
sense out
don't
of
know.
that.
There's things we don't know, and there are reasons we don't know those things. That's my point. That was your point that
Yeah.
you made earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say, Tom, well, we shouldn't be there. Well, we don't exactly know whether we should or should not be there.
Exactly.
We either can believe the government and the president that Iran was a danger, or we can choose to not believe them. And that honestly is based more on a person's politics.
Yeah.
Because they either choose to believe.
I don't trust the government,
that's
but
where I was going. It was like, please tell me the last administration that was trustworthy.
Again, I think that's based on your politics.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. I think that's based on a person's politics, because if you're a dyed-in-the-wool Republican, then you're going to say, yeah, I trust the government. That's why I put them in office, right? If you're a diehard Democrat, you say, no way, can't trust Trump. Orange man bad, right? If you're a libertarian, you ain't going to trust none of them, right?
Or you could just be a person and question what's happening.
Well, everybody should question everything. Interaction with boldness, right? Question everything.
Yeah.
Right? I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
But the
How
point,
very gold of you.
But back, but the question, Tom, that I was trying to draw an answer out of you about is, we are where we are, irrespective of if where you believe we should be there or not.
Right.
And as such, how far should we or should we not go? At what point should we leave? At what point should we take the gloves off? That's what I'm trying to draw out of you.
So if I were in charge, we would leave right now.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm not in charge.
Clearly.
And clearly, yeah. And
you're in charge in here.
Yeah. So the people that are going to fight in my stead, because I'm a voice of we the people. If we're going to fight, you fight to win. So stomp the shit out of them.
So your point is,
there is no such thing as a military target. There is just targets.
So you were okay with all the kids that got killed at the school?
If you're gonna, am I okay with it? No, because back to my first answer, we shouldn't be there. But if you're gonna fight, you fight to win.
Well, we're fighting. So your point is we need to fight.
Shit out of them.
We need to fight to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Beeler's point is she wants to have faith in the government because they know things that we are not privy to.
But
although
it
she
still
doesn't
mean
that's right, but she doesn't at the
I
same.
don't.
And I get that. I told my son when he enlisted in the army, right? I'm like, for a while, you're going to have faith in your government. You're going to love your country. By the time you're done, you will have no trust in your government, but you will still have faith in your fellow American and your fellow soldier, right? And that's the important thing to remember. That I lost faith in my government during Desert Storm, right? When they told us that 100,000 M8 chemical alarm detectors were false alarms that went off, and then suddenly people got sick with with the desert sickness, whatever they call it, Desert Storm, whatever it was.
Was that an STD?
No,
I'm just joking.
It was
Oh God.
new.
Oh, that they call it Burning Man.
Oh,
it's like a Johnny Cash song, "Ring of Fire."
Oh no.
Desert Storm Syndrome or whatever it was.
No, it was
something like that.
Yeah.
Gulf War Syndrome.
there it is.
Gulf War
Yeah.
Syndrome.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that's that. We have our lived experiences, and that kind of molds us, right, and gives us our opinions on who we are and what we think. But again, I don't want to lose sight of you feel effectively we should take off the gloves and win the fight, meaning we should do whatever it takes. I don't know that we necessarily got an answer for that out of Alicia.
No.
If you're gonna fight,
I agree with that.
you
Actually,
fight.
I
Okay.
do.
Okay. So both of you believe that we
Don't
should
have
nuke
a-
the Iranians.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's not drag this out. I don't want another fucking drag out. If
Okay.
you're gonna do it,
if
go
you're
in
gonna
there,
fight-
balls to the wall, get the shit done.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think there's a military power on the globe that could withstand the United States if we were to decide to take the gloves off
Mhm.
and you're getting an ass whipping.
Yeah. Right now, and to both of your points, and I think that we're all on the same sheet of music. It is right now. Yes, we are in a military action against Iran, but it's like a scrimmage, right? In a sporting event, this is like a scrimmage for us.
It should be over.
It should be over. But
should be done by now.
It's not, because you have a regime in Iran that rules through strength. Okay. And are you okay, Alicia?
No.
You look like you got a fart really bad.
No. I have a cramp in
You
my
sit on a
calf.
plunger? Okay. Okay. Well, you can get up, walk that cramp off. I mean, I encourage you, because it looks better than you sitting there looking like you got to pee really bad.
Mm.
All right. Wow. This is some bitterness there. So, Tom,
Don't be a
I can't help it. It's in my genes. Here's the thing. We were kind of going from that conversation into the Joe Kent conversation.
Yes.
So
Wait, can we play that other clip first?
Do you want to play that clip first? Yeah, we can play that clip when Dennis.
Yeah.
When
Let's
Dennis
finish
is
up with Kent.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
When Dennis is ready, you let me know, bud.
Okay.
This is Dennis just has a way with words.
He does.
Here's the thing, and I want to set this up for those that don't know. The Japanese prime minister was sitting in the White House and had a press conference with Donald Trump, and one of the Japanese reporters asks President Trump, how come he didn't relay the information that the United States was going to attack Iran specifically to the United States' allies, like France, England, Germany, Japan, right? And so that's the setup for this post. So Dennis, go ahead and play it.
Yeah, I read about this.
And he was a very good friend. But one question: why didn't you tell U.S. allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. When we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay, right?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
He's asking me. No, you believe in surprise, I think much more so than us. And we had to surprise him, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out, the first 2 days, we probably knocked out 50% of what and much more than we anticipated doing. So if I go and tell everybody about it, there's no longer a surprise.
Seriously, that's good.
Right?
We thank you for watching.
I'm sorry. To stand there in front of the press and the prime minister of Japan and be like, who knows better about surprise than Japan?
And then he didn't let it go.
No, he did not.
Oh, God, that's embarrassing.
Dude, I couldn't share air with him in a bar, but damn, that's funny.
That is so embarrassing.
I guess some of the Japanese people really, really loved it.
Did they really?
Yes.
That's funny
because
as hell.
it gave them their autonomy back. Like,
yeah.
Oh, man.
That just, I mean, if I was like the chief of staff for the president, I probably would have shit my pants.
Okay, but think about it. It was a comical moment. It was
comical.
very, very distasteful.
Yeah, it was very distasteful.
However, it was freeing for them if you think about it, because it set them up as an equal instead of somebody that we just bought.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. Now, you teach your students about this incident this week and see how they feel about it. I think that would be really fascinating.
I'm a history professor. I don't teach about Pearl Harbor.
Okay. Clearly, because you teach Constitution, right?
I teach American government.
Well, wouldn't this fall under that?
No,
it's the president talking
world problems.
Okay, I mean, if you're telling me it wouldn't fit under that, okay, I take your word for it.
It doesn't.
But I would find a way to sneak that in on my students, man. I would be like, "This is some funny shit. You guys just got to watch this. It ain't gonna be on the test. It'll be on the test." Yeah, that's just who bombed who at Pearl Harbor. When the Japanese bombed America in the Pearl Harbor, who dropped the bombs on who? Just.
Real quick, Paul, because Tom and I were having a discussion before, and Dennis too, before anyone showed up, how we are ending by 10 p.m. tonight, if not sooner. So before we get going on Joe Kent, we're just going to put that out there.
Okay, that's fair. Now let me just retort with this. Have I ever not fucking ended the show on time?
Okay. Reiterating.
Kevin's not here. It's fucking ended on time. It's okay. That's how that goes. You know why? Because I'm a dang professional. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So done with that. Go ahead, Dennis.
I would like to say then why?
Oh,
but
no.
Kevin is like way past the finish line.
Yeah.
We're all irritated and we've all sat back and we keep going, Kevin, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And you're the biggest proponent. And yet you ask him dumbass questions during closing remarks and drag it out another half hour.
Yeah. Because we're already there. We're already there. It's like when you're having sex with a woman and you just want it to be over with and done.
Seriously?
And then one of you finishes before the other one. What? He was asking a question. I was just trying to explain it. Just trying to explain it, you know?
And not buying it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Wait, Dang.
I strategize differently.
I gotta say it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Leave it alone, Paul. Shut up, Paul. Thank you, Dennis. Dick. God dang. Okay. Yeah, the question was out. The question was asked in chat, is this shit real? Yes, Jake, it was real. The president actually said that. I wish we were making it up, but it's 100% real. Okay, so let's get into the Joe Kent. So Joe Quent. What? I don't even know what I'm saying now. Joe
I think
Kent,
you're trying to say Kent and
yeah.
quit.
I say quit at the same time. Joe quit. Joe Kent was the head of the anti-terrorism department, I believe it is, within Tulsi Gabbard's intelligence unit. And he effectively tendered his resignation because he, as he put it very publicly in his resignation letter, that Iran was not a threat to the United States. Shortly after, I think it may have been within 2 days of that letter coming out, of course, the left grabbed onto that and was like, haha, see, this is a counterterrorism guy. He was in charge of that department, and he says Iran wasn't a threat. And then it comes out, and that letter really went out of its way to make President Trump look bad. And it was kind of like a Trump-ish kind of resignation letter, I felt. Now, on that same boat, within 48 hours, the White House came out and said, hey, you know what? This guy we've felt for several months was a leaker. And as such, he hasn't been involved in any of the intelligence briefings about Iran for the last several months. And as such, he's not in the know, and therefore he wasn't aware of what we knew about Iran. And consequently, we're having him investigated for leaking top secret information to the press.
Right.
That's our foundation, right? I don't know Joe Kent. Never met him. We were supposed to have an interview scheduled with him once. He blew us off.
I've met him in 2020.
I do not hold a person scheduled for an interview that interview doesn't happen. Like, if that happens once, I don't care. That's not, I didn't take that personally. He was running for office. He had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah,
I did not take that personally. I don't hold that against him. So I'm very neutral on the Joe Kent issue.
Okay.
So you've met him, Alicia.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts about this situation and what has occurred.
I don't think that when our people serving our government come out against the government on such a serious topic like this, it's going to necessarily be a good thing. Of course, he has the right to do that, but he's also, I mean, it was on the official letterhead.
Right.
Like, pull the president aside, say, hey, this is why I'm doing this. Don't make it like he literally was setting himself up to do that. That's how I feel. Like, he's just become a hero to the Democrats. He used to be a Democrat, so maybe he's going back.
Did he? I did not know that.
Yeah, actually,
I don't know
not
much
that
about
long
him.
ago.
Yeah, I don't know that much about him.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Interesting. That changes my perspective a bit.
Yeah.
So he was on the left, not maybe a leftist, but he was on the left as a Democrat before.
Yeah.
Then he switched at some point to Republican.
He switched to something else, and then he switched to Republican.
Really? Okay, that's
Yeah.
Okay. So, interesting. And listen, I tip my hat to the guy. I would salute him if he was in front of me. His wife gave her life for this country.
Absolutely.
She
And
was
he
killed.
was a combat vet.
Yeah,
so-
he was a special forces combat vet. She died as a result of an ISIS suicide bomber, or was it a roadside bomb? One or the other. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
It was horrible either way. They have several kids together. He lives in Southwest Washington somewhere. I believe down in the Vancouver area, if I recall, or something like that. But the point is still, he's a veteran. I thank him for his service. I respect him for it. I didn't respect the way that this happened. I did not respect the way that letter was written. I thought the letter was written with intent to make the president look bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think that needed to happen.
It did not,
because
it's not helping with what we have going on in the country.
Correct. And it's like, it would be one thing if without notice the president dropped 100,000 ground troops in Iran and started butchering the whole populace.
Right.
That's one thing. But this was very select, this very direct targeting of military targets.
Yeah.
And against a country that has openly called for our destruction for over 47 years. They have been responsible for, I've seen statistics of upwards of 70% of U.S. casualties in Iraq were a direct result of Iranian interference, whatever you want to call it, whatever label, in other words, Iranian missiles, rockets, IEDs, etc. Okay. This is, and let's not even get into the Beirut barracks bombing, the Khobar Towers bombing, all of the other direct action that they have taken against us. This is a country that's taken unknown numbers of military acts against us. We've taken just a couple against them over the years, right? We took out Soleimani.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a great move in my book.
Yeah.
Right. You took out the leader of what effectively amounted to all of the terrorist organizations. So he was the front man for Hezbollah, for Hamas, for the Houthis, right? For Iran, without collateral damage at all. Hey, come outside, wait for me. I'm at the airport. I'll send a plane. I'll pick you up. Boom. That was beautiful. I appreciated that. My point just is that I could see Joe Kent issuing a statement like this if there were masses of civilian casualties, we were firebombing cities, and we were doing indiscriminate killing. Then I could see coming out with a statement like this. But the way that it was worded, the whole point of it seemed to be to attempt to embarrass the president.
Right.
And I didn't appreciate that very much.
I didn't either.
Tom, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I haven't followed a lot of the Joe Kent stuff.
Would you like me to pull up the letter?
No, that I saw when it came through the news cycle,
Yeah.
and it was kind of on my pile of reading stuff, and I never got to it. But this seems like kind of a symptom of the divisiveness that we're going through right
Agreed.
now.
Yeah.
Right. And
I felt like he exploited the divisiveness with that.
yeah, and that's not helping anything. And I don't care what side is acting. If it's one year extreme left, extreme right, if you're driving a wedge between people, you're contributing to the problem, and it do better.
Yeah.
I got you. So I'm curious. How do you guys feel about the accusation that he's responsible for leaking top secret information?
I don't think we should be throwing accusations around like that. I think if they have evidence that happened, then they should bring him to a grand jury and then take him to trial.
Tom?
That's how I feel about any kind of criminal.
Yeah,
any of these people in the Epstein file. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on.
Yeah. No, I mean,
And you're coming from a great deal of perspective within the criminal justice system.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
That's the first I've heard of it. But yeah, I said earlier, accountability seems to be in short supply.
Agreed.
People like to poke at me about libertarianism or whatever.
Like Paul.
Yeah. But I do think we should deregulate a lot of stuff. That doesn't mean that you throw away accountability.
No.
Right. So if I go out and eat 10 grams of shrooms and then jump in my car and cause a bad wreck, okay, lock me up.
You hear
That's
that,
on
Amber?
you, yeah.
No 10 grams of shrooms. Let me make this really clear. Just like Joe Kent's letter was an inappropriate attempt to make the president look bad.
Yeah.
The administration went out of their way because, let's be honest,
to retaliate.
Donald Trump has probably one of the thinnest skins I've ever seen of anybody in world history.
Yeah. So certainly a retaliation.
Yep. And when you piss him off, he
Yeah.
comes back after you. And he tries to play it off like a tough guy. Like, if you punch me, I'll punch you back. Not in person, you won't.
Right.
He's a keyboard warrior.
Right.
So tired.
And I don't have a lot of respect for that.
Which is what a huge part of our problem right now is.
Well, it is. He's exacerbated the problem because of his own personal behavior.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, right, the same way Joe Kent tried to make him look bad, the administration deliberately went out of the way to make Joe Kent look bad by throwing an accusation out. Right?
Yeah.
To your point, like, it's fine if you think that he's leaking stuff. You handle that in-house.
Right.
If he's convicted of something, that's another story.
Right.
Put it out there, right?
Sure, yeah, then
But you don't need to make an issue of it just to make him look bad. He did enough on
And
his own.
that's literally like some 50s McCarthy shit, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Can we just stop that already?
And for those who don't understand, she's talking about McCarthyism, accusing people of being communist, etc. Right? Did I get that right? Was that close enough description? Yeah. All right.
Perfect.
Very good. Very
Good
good.
job. Proud of you.
I smart. SRMAT. Smart.
SMRT. SMRT. It's Homer.
Hey, I just want to tell
Buy him
you
a fucking
guys
sense of
that,
humor, please.
My Red Bull is seriously wearing off now, and I
Oh, are you
feel
gonna
like I'm
crash?
about
Hold
to
it.
go face first.
Oh, which Red Bull?
Both of them.
Number one.
Oh, both of them?
Yeah.
Both of them are wearing off right now. I'm about to go.
Okay.
Listen, she's clearly she's not just coming down, she jumped off the cliff, you know. that sugar energy high was up here when Teresa was in here, and now she's free falling.
This is the longest I've sat down all day, like just the show.
Well, you know, you worked a double today, man.
I mean, I worked 2 shifts. I didn't actually work a double. I didn't work 16 hours.
Well, okay, I was told you worked a double, so I was thinking
Well,
you
I
worked 16
worked
hours. I was like, that's
breakfast
impressive.
shift, and then I worked lunch
You
shift.
should have stuck with the double. Just said it. Yeah, I worked a double. Look how tough I am.
Whatever. I don't need to lie about it.
That's a double shift in 2026.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, man.
4 hours a day is full time now. Good Lord. I don't know where Dennis went. I mean, let's go ahead and start with our final thoughts then.
Yeah.
And get things going because we got 10 minutes left, and then
Hopefully Dennis is paying attention out there.
I don't know if Dennis is paying anything being out there except maybe the tax man. That's okay. That's okay. I'm sure I mean we got a few minutes. So let's start our final thoughts. Do you want Lori, you want to start?
No.
No. Thanks, Lori.
I would
Thanks.
like to start. Could I start?
Of course you can. She's like, I want to start because I'm going home. I'm leaving.
I'm gonna keep this like masked in mystery, kind of. One of my students' parents reached out, and I would just like for everybody to send out their prayers, healing energy, whatever you got in you, send it out to this young person who is in the hospital right now fighting for his I don't know if he's fighting for his life, his or her life, just that they could use some
good juju.
Some good juju.
Some good vibes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yes,
Who do we direct those vibes to?
Out into the universe.
Just out into the universe? Just general positivity and energy.
I don't really want to say
No, that's
the
fine.
person's name. Yeah.
No, that's
so,
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So,
I'm an asshole and I thought I'd point out the absurdity of
just think, yeah.
Just send good vibes out into the universe. Okay, we can do that.
I mean,
you
focus
believe in the power of
focus
prayer.
in on Alicia's student.
There you go.
That'll go right.
That gives
right
us
where
a
it
good
needs
point to
go.
focus it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. Are you enjoying teaching the class, by the way?
I really, really am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you were given the choice between like sticking with being a college professor, if it paid enough and you had enough classes to earn a decent living on. I'm not suggesting that the college pays poorly. The college pays poorly.
I mean, if I just finished my damn PhD, I could actually get tenured or something and make some money.
Do they
but
do that at the local college?
They do.
Do they really? I didn't know that. I thought that was like for bigger universities and
Yeah,
stuff.
they do.
Yeah. Are you okay? Contractions?
No, my calf is cramping so bad.
Because you got these looks on your face over there, like life is gonna end.
It hurts.
Like there's a black hole in my ass.
Have you never had a cramp in your calf, Paul?
Yeah, I stretch it out. I'm done with it. Then it's gone.
Okay, well, mine is getting stretched and it goes away for a little bit and then it goes.
Well, that's not a cramp.
That is a cramp. It's like a Charlie horse, man. It's exactly what it is.
So that's being out of shape. That's
Yeah, I mean, we don't. Hello, you can just take one look at me and see that I'm out of shape.
Sex is equal to running 2 miles. Become a jogger. Right, Amber?
I don't like running.
Okay. Well,
And I'm not having sex right now.
I can't.
so.
I can't. Okay. All right. That's long distance runner. Nope. I'm just a sprinter, man.
I don't know what to do with you two.
You love it, Tom. You love it. Your daughter. I mean, Tom. You got no room to talk, man. Your wife got me a box of condoms for Christmas
That is
and lube.
I love it.
It's better to have it not need it than
Oh,
No
shit.
doubt.
That was the most embarrassing public Christmas present I ever got live on camera. Condoms? and lube. Okay. It's like, yeah, it just depends on what team you want to go to bat for. Okay. Tom, final thoughts after that?
Okay, I'm
Mr.
going to go
Nipple
back.
Sweater. Yeah.
Hey, Paul, I'll have you know, my plans are to retire that Christmas sweater.
Fucking A. All right.
Just
Not
for
that,
Paul?
Not that there won't be a new one along.
Of course, Tom.
Love
of
it.
course, Of course. Duly noted. Duly noted. I'm going to burn in effigy one of them little things that you like so much. What's that called? What's the little cartoon?
A joint?
No, a joint. the little cartoon character that you love. Hello, what?
Oh, don't pick on Hello Kitty.
Yes, Hello Kitty. I'm going to burn one in effigy. If you show up with your nipples cut out of your sweater again, I'm going to burn Hello Kitty in effigy. For those of you that don't know, that man has the hairiest fucking nipples you will ever see, and it's traumatizing. And I believe they're pierced. I didn't look long enough.
They are.
Thank you. Thank you. Didn't need the visual.
Yeah. They have little dangly things on them, too.
That's the point. I was hanging Christmas ornaments off.
I got you, buddy. You get that visual in your head.
That's some serious dope shit right there, man. That's what that is. Okay. Get your goddamn final thoughts out.
Final
Go home.
God damn it. Okay. Final thoughts, actually. I those of you that are listening now, God have mercy on your soul. No, those of you who are listening right now, you really are amongst some of the people in the state that care, I guess, politically speaking. It doesn't really matter what side of the aisle you're on. You care. You're engaged. You probably vote. So telling people to go out and vote isn't really helping much. But if you can think of a way to get more people to vote, do it. Go talk to your friends, your friends that aren't politically active or whatever. And especially if you hear them bitch, taxes are high, my property taxes, whatever, fuel taxes. God, we can bitch about gas taxes.
Does that
right?
not tell me right now? If one of my biggest pet peeves is listening,
if you bitch and you don't vote.
Well, okay, that's close. But I was going to say the people that do vote, but are so uneducated that they will tell you how bad the Republicans in this state are because everything's priced so high.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they still vote the way they vote.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I just look at them and tip my head, just be like,
Are you really
What?
that stupid?
So
yeah, literally.
I think that's what I don't know what I'm urging people to do because I don't really know what the answer is.
I think you're encouraging people to educate themselves.
Yeah,
That's
well,
a beautiful thing.
Themselves, but not only themselves, right? Because
You're encouraging them to complete sentences.
yeah, I want stop. I want people to get out and vote, and because our voter turnout is so bad.
Amen.
Right. So I want
Yeah.
the people that are listening that do vote to help us figure out how to get more people to vote. And when those new voters vote, they're probably going to do it wrong a few times.
Yeah.
Give them some grace.
To your point, I once heard, and I made a comment about this earlier. I once heard, I don't remember where I heard it. Maybe you guys will remember, but there was a gentleman that made the comment that in America, when Americans vote, right, we frequently fuck things up. It just takes us a while, but we ultimately always get it right. It just takes a while.
It takes a while. Yeah.
And I'm paraphrasing, of course, but
yeah.
I don't know who that was, but man, I hope we get it right in this state here soon.
God,
but,
right.
I mean, the first thing we need to do is get our voter turnout up.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means everybody should. I mean, I would feel confident if everybody who's even remotely educated made a promise to themselves to get one person out to vote. I mean, I think just that in itself. I mean, everybody knows somebody who doesn't vote, right?
Yeah.
Do whatever it takes to get that person that doesn't vote out to vote.
I think we should just shame the fuck out of them.
Yeah, but they don't care. Because if they cared, they'd vote.
I mean, maybe they need some shame in their lives.
I don't think they know that they should be ashamed.
We can do
That's
what
the
we do
problem.
with the cat for shame.
I mean, well, you listen, Professor, you have a
'cause,
point there. But on that note, right? I think Tom's got a point. Like,
you
like
don't
how do you
know what
shame
you
the
don't
drug
know.
dealer while he's high on drugs?
Yeah, I really don't think that people who don't.
I was
vote-
making a joke, but
It was
it's okay.
it was funny
Thanks.
in a rubber chicken way.
All right. Don't
don't do it.
no, come on.
Okay. All right.
It's dead now.
She fucking choked the chicken.
Live on air.
Oh my God. Laura, you got some final words you want to throw our way?
I would just like to kind of reiterate what you guys have been talking about. Do not sit there and just sit in your echo chamber. Venture out into different news sources. Convince other people to vote, even if they're not going to vote the way you think they should vote. We just need to get voter turnout going. And we need to convince in the Washington State Senate and House of Representatives that I forgot the final numbers. I want to say it was 200,000 people, not bots, against the income tax. So Turd Ferguson or Bob Ferguson or governor,
I hope this
pay attention. Pay attention because Microsoft is moving to Vancouver, BC. Amazon is out. Starbucks is moving to Tennessee. I mean, you're losing your high-paying jobs. And guess what? The rest of us who are still looking at the high-paying jobs that are left, we're out too.
But
exactly.
This is why people need to pay attention to who they vote for.
Who they vote for and who's been in charge, and stop listening to the echo chamber.
Please vote.
10 o'clock.
I know what time it is. I was
Go,
letting
Paul, go.
All I was going to say was that Robert made an interesting comment in the chat. He said, remember, citizens have the right to not vote. Also, that is also a vote. And I think that technically Robert's right.
He is.
But I would also suggest that people have a civic responsibility. And I
They
know some
do.
people don't like that phrase, but they have a civic responsibility to vote, right?
Mhm.
Just like we have a responsibility to our fellow citizens, for example, to drive relatively safely,
Yeah.
right? We have responsibilities to each other. And however you want to quantify that, I think voting is one of them. So I'm going to leave that. That's my final thought for tonight. Dennis, do you have anything you want to close with?
Actually, I do. KDDA fans,
Yes.
we have great news. Our schedule has been expanded due to
That is awesome.
So we're up to 6 races, and it changed up the beginning of the season. So we have a race every 2 weeks, starting in May, starting the middle of May.
Did you guys happen to get back into the fair this year? It was worth asking, Dennis. It was worth asking. Listen, it was.
That's like asking if Kevin got into Alicia.
Yeah, exactly. Never gonna happen. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
Never gonna get
Yeah.
Listen,
Round peg, square hole, you know?
It's worth asking, I guess, because it's like that place was packed during the fair, man. It was amazing. during the
Always.
fair. And the last few years, it seems like every event they've brought in on that freaking Saturday night is just shit.
It's just rodeo crap.
Yeah, and it's half full. But that's my opinion.
But actually, it was Sunday. It's the last day of the fair.
Last day, that's right. Sundays, yeah.
And we always did it right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But like the Cowboys don't want to help get their crap out of the stadium,
right?
So we could go in and and do what we do. And the way the fair board looks at it, well, you pack the stands one night, and the rodeo packs it,
5 nights or 4 nights or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I get
but
it.
it's okay.
But one of them is connected to the KDDA, is connected to the community a lot. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I think you and I
Community
have
is
the
very
same-
important.
It is. It is. I think we're on the same sheet of music. I would love to have the opportunity to speak to the committee at some point about that, maybe next year for the following year or something, because I think it's an issue that's worth presenting to them.
Oh, to the club or to the fair board?
To the fair board. Yeah. So
okay.
Good night.
Hey, let me know how that and your
Yeah.
talk with the Kremlin goes. Also, I want to give a heartfelt shout out. I won't go into too many details, but Shane Hamry,
yes,
Derby driver and
all around
good friend of mine.
Mhm.
And he's been on the show here a couple times. He's got some things going on, and
Love you, Shane.
so you're in our thoughts, buddy. Love you, man.
Good luck, Shane.
Good luck, Shane.
And and one other thing. There will be more bungholes after me.
Oh my God.
I am Cornholio. Some TP for my bunghole.
I was reestablishing respect for Dennis. I was reestablishing it. It all went out the fucking toilet.
Good night, Outlaws. Beeler's out.
Jesus. Bathroom break Beeler apparently needs to go to the bathroom again.
No. You guys.
It's cool, man. It's your story. You tell it how you want. It's fine. We're good. Hey, everybody, have yourselves a great night. We'll see you back here next Sunday. As long as God is good, Kevin will join us and he'll make it back here, and you know, you all can judge for yourself who's a better show host. Love you guys.
Cornholio.
Oh God, Dennis. Love you all. Good night.